Guys, this song is so fucking good. Have you guys heard this song before?
PPAP. I have a pen, I have an apple, apple pen. I have a pen, I have pineapple, pineapple pen, apple pen, pineapple pen, pen pineapple apple pen.
Alright, I'm done. What? 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 Wait, why would he tweet this? What? Why would? What? Am I? This isn't his real account. And never mind. This can't be. This has to be a Smurf account or like a parody. What? What the fuck? I don't understand. Why would you tweet this? What an unbelievable time to be alive. Whoa, my tactics music.
Hey guys.
Hey guys.
Yesterday we went over the best experience to learn about AP. One of the most known methods for acquiring AP is leveling up. Unfortunately, you can't level up forever, and eventually you'll need to use other methods to get AP.
Like what, dude?
In today's video, we'll go over some of the most common ways of getting AP. Then, I'll show you how you can get the most AP in the game in the shortest time possible.
Why'd I just skip right to that? I don't give a fuck about any of this other shit, you fucking retard.
Warp Strike also gives you an AP. Warp Strike consumes MP for each use, but if you warp to high ground, you recover all your MP. As long as there are places you can warp to in the field, you could basically have infinite MP and therefore infinite Warp Strikes. Early on, it's very valuable for you to go around killing a level 1 or 2 enemies spamming Warp Strikes, as it will be an excellent source of AP since their starting skills cost anywhere between 6 to 14 AP each. Unfortunately, our happy days won't last forever. Skills will start costing 99 AP or more for each single skill. To deal with that requirement, you need a faster method, a faster way to get AP for the time you invest or sink into the game. Enter the Beast Whistle. Beast Whistle is the key item you get later in the game, at the end of Chapter 3, the start of Chapter 4, and it allows you to force respawn a mob. The mob spawned is relevant to that particular area or map where you use it. So basically, you could fight the same mob over and over. Mix this with an area where monsters die in one warp strike, and there are plenty of high grounds, and you have yourself a party. So in this example I am currently playing, you can see that I started farming this area at 33 hours and 16 minutes into the game, and I had 128 AP. 10 minutes go by and I check my menu again, you can see the time and almost 10 minutes passed. I now have 251 AP.
Fuck that shit. No. Alright. So AP in this game is like impossible to get, even if you're doing it in the most scumbag way possible. Fuck that shit. Okay. We're starting things off today with a trumple from earlier, okay? Good luck. Alright, you should have talk power, buddy. Oh shit, gross score update. What?
And I hate people and I hate the internet right now.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Hold on. I think my voice activation's too high. Okay, there we go. I haven't used this in a while. Hi there.
Alright, what's up? Are you ready? Are you excited? This is your chance. This is your dream.
Absolutely.
Alright, dude, go ahead, hit me up. What do you think what do you disagree with?
No, I was just curious on your tweet about Obama, how like you think he's a good president and shit. I was just wanting like more clarification on that.
Why didn't I tweet like the three biggest things that he accomplished or whatever?
Yeah, but you know, a lot of it just like what do you think about how the labor participation force is down like a ton? What do you think about all of his, you know, all the different types of scandals he's gone through, like the IRS targeting scandal, the Guantanamo Bay scandal? I mean, you also have like, you know, federal tax up above during his presidency. I mean, what do you make of all that? What about Benghazi? What do you make of all that? I mean, what do you make about the you know, the fact that he, like in 2009, 2010, 2011, like made the deficit went up insanely, and then he's like just so much, and then he moved, and then he, you know, he brought it back down, but it's still higher than it was. You know, like people say, oh, he took the deficit down, but he's the one who brought it up in the first place. Kind of curious, like, what do you make of all that?
I don't know. All right, hold on. I'm sorry. Let's start in the beginning. All right, what was the first name we had?
The first thing I believe was all of his scandals, like the Guantanamo Bay detention camp scandal, the IRS targeting scandal, the Benghazi attack, and all that good stuff.
Okay. So, like, do you think that Obama, like, personally instructed the IRS to target?
No, of course not. But at the same time, like, you have to look at the evidence here. Like, a lot of, like for example, like, some of the groups that are being targeted were specifically, you know, they were focused on challenging Obamacare. I mean, a lot of the things that were being challenged were direct advocates against Obama.
Yeah, I mean, that's confirmed that the IRS was definitely targeting, like, at the very least, conservative groups. Sure.
Yeah, it just comes off as sketchy to me that, like, a lot of people they were targeting were specifically against Obama in that case as well.
Well,
That's the
I mean,
only
if
thing.
they're, like, hardcore Republican groups and Obama's the president, I mean, I feel like a lot of those groups are going to be targeting Obama, right? Like, by
no,
extension.
yeah, I get that, yeah. I just think it's kind of weird that they targeted also specific groups that were focused on challenging the Affordable Care Act.
Sure.
Like, I get that they challenged the Tea Party. I get that they challenged, you know, the Occupy movements, the medical marijuana movement. Like, the medical marijuana, another one they targeted. Like, why? He says he supports medical marijuana. Why target groups that oppose it? And then you also have the fact that...
Wait, we got one at a time. Okay, so I don't think that, like, the IRS thing, I mean, it was definitely a shitty thing to happen, but I'm not too sure if I would, like, pin that 100% on Obama.
Right, no, yeah, that's fair. But what about the, Benghazi attack? What do you make of that?
I don't know. From what I read about it, it seemed like kind of a blunder. I mean, Obama's foreign policy is probably one of his weak points when it comes to anything having to do with the Middle East or Northern Africa, I guess in the case of Benghazi and Libya. But I mean, I don't know, dude. Maybe I haven't done enough research, but I was never really sold. I hate Hillary. I was never really sold that they were, like, at fault for that. I mean, it seemed
Right.
like they had gotten some kind of ambiguous information that an attack may be imminent. But I mean, how often do we get that kind of information all over the world? I don't know. I have a hard time.
Right.
I feel like if there was really danger present and they really had credible reason to believe so, why wouldn't they have put defense there? Like, unless you think that they had some malintent and were trying to get people killed at the embassy. Like, I'm not sure. I never really
Right,
bought
yeah, I
that
don't-
narrative that it was it
Yeah.
was like some malicious kind of
Well,
thing. I mean,
Yeah, well, I mean, the only thing that kind of struck me as odd was that they specifically asked Hillary Clinton's Secretary of State office for reinforcements, like a week, I think, before the attack happened, and she specifically ignored their request. And then a week later it happens. I mean, it's not so much like I don't think she was like specifically wanting those people to die. I think it's more of a case of just like a general incompetency in the people he picked for his his cabinet positions.
Yeah, I mean it's probably possible. Like I said, I don't know. I was never like how many people are making requests for reinforcements around the world for troops? And then would the reinforcements that would have been sent even helped for the Benghazi attack? Like do you know?
That's a solid point.
It's
yeah.
not really fair because I'm sure you don't know the specifics. I don't know the specifics either.
Yeah, I don't
but
know the
I was never
specifics, yeah.
really sold. I guess like when I look at like things that for people ask me if Obama's done a decent job. I mean, like I think for the most part he's done a decent job, but I'm not saying that his career doesn't have his like downfalls. I guess. So I
Right.
guess I don't really believe that the IRS thing is 100% on him. I'm not sure. Even if you believe that Benghazi was the fault of the American government, I think that falls more on Hillary than Obama.
It would,
I would
yeah.
imagine. So.
Yeah, what do you also think of the about how he raises the debt and then he how he raises the debt a significant amount in his first couple years of office and then spends like his later years in office tailoring it back down, but he put it so high that when he tailored it down 2/3, it's still higher than it was under Bush.
I mean,
just-
raising the debt in the beginning, that's a pretty difficult thing not to do, no? I mean, like, we were coming into one of the when he inherited office, it was one of the worst depressions, like, of the history of the entire fucking world in terms of
Yeah,
the
it was-
impact on world markets. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I feel like we bounced back pretty fucking fast from that. Now, how
Right,
much
but
of
you
that...
gotta realize the big thing that caused the housing bubble wasn't Bush, it was Clinton and the Democrats' old slogan, everyone deserves a house. They under Clinton they made houses extremely cheap, try to get everyone to buy one, and then when people couldn't afford it, the mortgages rate shot up insanely, and it all happened under Bush. I feel like Bill Clinton just got really lucky with the .com boom and bust happened under him, so he was able to reap that economic fruition or whatever you want to call it, flourishing, whatever, and it gave him the ability to create the surplus that he did.
All
I
right,
don't
so
know.
just to be careful on the narrative here, I would say that I think that Clinton does get a lot of blame for the housing crisis, but I don't agree that it had to do with the whatever the fuck they called that Housing American Dream Act. I don't remember what it called. I think it had
Right.
more to do with the repeal of Glass-Steagall than it did with any push to get other people into houses.
That's fair.
So,
Alright,
but
what-
I mean, it happened under the Clinton administration. So I mean, you can't
Yeah.
argue with that. But, wait, what does this have to do with Obama?
Well, no, I was just asking what you thought of the debt.
Oh, I mean, yeah, obviously
yeah,
the debt
yeah.
sucks, but I mean, the debt is something that's always been going up every single year in and year out since the 1930s, I think.
Well, of
Our national
course
debt
it's
has always
been
been
out.
rising. I know that it went up a lot when Obama took office, but again, I mean, we had a fuck ton of stimulus and shit that was coming in. That $600 billion fucking stimulus package, and I'm sure the interest rates dropping to 0% and everything, involve, a fuck ton of debt being created as a result of that, no? And I mean, like I said, I know that X kills me and fucking chat, I'll disagree. But, I mean, we bounced back pretty well from what was arguably one of the worst financial crises of all time. It doesn't even feel that way, right? By the time we hit 2013, 2014, the 2007 was kind of all but forgotten, and considering
Yeah.
how dramatic it was at the time, it didn't seem like that would happen.
Right, yeah, that's fair.
All right, what?
And what do you make of the about how he as a senator was completely against mass surveillance and then completely flip-flops as president and supports it 100%?
Yeah, I don't know. That seems to be like a president thing. I don't like that. I didn't like the Patriot Act under
Yeah.
Bush. I don't like that it got repassed under Obama, bipartisan with no opposition. That just seems to be a thing. When you go into government, you want to spy on fucking everybody. Maybe as president, I don't know if he could even dismantle the systems unilaterally. I don't know if he has the authority to do it on president, or as president. I'm not actually sure. I mean, yeah, it's shitty, but it seems like every single person in government is in favor of that.
Yeah, what do you think of his entire cabinet being picked by Citigroup? That was found in the WikiLeaks.
What do you? I'm sorry. Say that one more time.
What do you think of his entire cabinet getting picked by Citigroup, as shown in the WikiLeaks that was released? That put
Can you
us
link
the
me the
emails?
exact emails?
Yeah, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Okay. We'll read them.
Yeah. All right. I PM'd him in TeamSpeak.
Okay, I've seen this exact email before. So this email, I mean, I could read it. It was basically a list of candidates, I guess, that they were looking at. Do we know how many people from these lists were actually chosen as cabinet positions?
I'm sure if you sifted through, you could find a couple, but I haven't personally done the groundwork on
Well,
it.
are those attachments even available?
Yeah, yeah. Under the attachments, you got the diverse list, women, cabinet example. They're all there.
Fuck, I can't open these. I think I need a
Why
program
not?
to do it.
Oh.
I mean, I would have to see like how many of these people were specifically chosen. Because like if we look through all these lists and only like 2 of them are in cabinet positions, I mean that's kind of a weak argument, right? I feel like how many of these people actually made it is kind of like an important part of that, right?
Yeah, let me see. Hold on. I think I can open these.
To be fair, I think you open this with Obama's entire cabinet was picked by
Citigroup. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it just seems like he was an empty suit for him. It just seems like he was the same deal that Hillary was with everything that's come out. I mean, we all know Hillary was like completely backed up by those guys. I feel like it makes sense to believe that Obama was the same, especially when you have all these WikiLeaks emails coming out. His gross estimate, his all of his support for Clinton when he clearly hated her when he was campaigning against her. And
well, but that's how
just,
I mean that's how campaigning always goes.
I
right?
mean, yeah, but you're right. But I mean, it just it comes off a little weird that he was like so in favor of her regardless.
Yeah, but that's how it always goes, right? Ted Cruz was literally was phone banking for Donald Trump after Trump made fun of his depressed wife and said that his dad was involved in the JFK killings. I mean, that's just kind of how it goes, right? Bernie supported Hillary after campaigning against her so much. Like, that's kind of just how the game is played.
Yeah, but Ted Cruz, Bernie, and they all lost like most of their credibility with most of their fans after that. That's why most burnouts voted for Trump, because they were just completely.
I don't know
tired.
about that. Rubio got fucked so hard, and didn't he win his re-election? So I mean, I don't know if you could say they lost.
Well, I mean, it's
credibility.
Florida. Like, come on, you're not gonna lose as a Republican senator in Florida. That's just not gonna happen.
Sure.
Like, throw these on Imgur, I think.
Not to mention the fact that Trump is also sucking up to Hillary after winning as well, talking about how she was one of the greatest women in politics and shit. He had a lot of nice things to say about Hillary, that their whole family was, their public service to the United States and all of that. Just kind of weird considering how much he brutally campaigned against her, but...
Personally, I think he's just waiting until he's in office to appoint a special prosecutor because he knows that Obama will just immediately pardon her.
You really believe that?
I mean, it's a possibility. You gotta think about it.
I don't think so. But we'll see, I guess. It seems very bizarre. Can you pre-pardon people from a crime like that even?
Yeah. Presidential pardons, it could totally cover that.
Do you really think so?
I mean, I'm not saying it's like 100% gonna happen, but I mean, it's something to at least think about. I don't know. I'm not really one to discredit something if it's not been scientifically disproven. It's just like, hey, why not? At least like worth a listen. People have something to say about it.
Holy fuck! What is all? You linked me all the.
This was the emails. Specifically, It was specifically women and African Americans that he can pick from. And it just seems odd to me that Citigroup would be sending picks for the cabinet to John Podesta when Obama won. It just kind of comes off as weird, honestly. That's all.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, but I imagine there's a lot of that back and forth communication between all the people that are political elites. Like, I'm pretty sure this is how Washington works, right? We just get a unique look into it from Hillary's side, but I mean, there are lots of examples of corporations literally passing like word for word legislation to senators and shit to stick into bills and whatnot as riders. I mean, it happens all the time.
Yeah, that doesn't make it right, though.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree with that.
Like, it's still kind of a weak point, in my opinion, if he has fucking Citigroup sending him everyone he can pick who's a diverse choice or whatever. And it's just kind of dumb. It's like, oh, so you have to pick a woman and an African American, even though there's a white guy who can do the job better. Okay.
Well, but you don't know that. You're making a lot of sense. Maybe he just wanted a list of candidates that were African American and women, just to see somebody to potentially.
Right, but that's
pick
not a
from.
qualification for being in office, being a cabinet member. Your qualifications should be your qualifications, not your race or your sex.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I don't know how important some of these cabinet positions are, but I mean, there's no saying that like somebody would look and see like a really bad candidate here, but pick them only because they're African American or women as well, right? Like,
Right, but then why only send him women and African Americans?
maybe
Like,
they
didn't
already
even
had
bother.
like a ton of qualified white men and everything already picked out, and they didn't need a list of that. Like,
Only why would they need a list of it? Like, it's not necessarily a case of we have too many white guys, we need black people, and like that's dumb. It should like if every single person who applies who is the most qualified is a white guy, then you should hire those people. Like,
I mean,
not a
maybe. I mean,
case
this
of-
kind of gets into an argument on like affirmative action and whatnot, but
I mean, I can see the need for a diverse workplace. I just think it's kind of dumb to like snuff somebody out for the job if they're clearly better for it, just because you already have too many of X amount of person, you know?
yeah. So I'm not. I mean, I'm just kind of going through some of these, and a lot of these people don't seem to have any position in government. So it seems like they weren't directly.
Well, it's just a short list, you know. I mean, I'm not saying it's like the word of God or anything. I just think it's kind of
Well,
curious. that
but
they
you
would
said
send...
your initial claim was that Citibank had literally chosen Obama's entire cabinet.
Okay, that was probably hyperbole.
Okay. All right. What's the next one?
See, kind of curious what you think of the Guantanamo Bay detention camp type deal, where he says he's going to close Gitmo, and then he just never does it. He just like kind of forgot about that promise.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, that was pretty shitty. I don't know why that didn't get closed either. I don't know. I wish it would have.
So, what parts of his presidency do you like specifically? Maybe that's like a better way we can do this.
The three things that I pointed out were the three things that I liked. Do you remember
Right,
what they
but-
were on Twitter?
Yeah, I can probably pull him up. if
I think
really needed
I think
to.
that the ACA was really ambitious, even if a little haphazard. I think it's a push in the right direction. I thought that the Iran deal was probably going to be one of the things he's remembered the most for,
Why do you think the Iran deal is a good thing?
because it seems like the first time that we're willing to like reach across to somebody that he seems to hate us and that we seem to hate in order to reach some kind of compromise to stop nuclear proliferation, rather than continuing to double down on sanctions and bullying everybody in the Middle East with autistic fucking proxy wars. Like, it seems like we actually tried to do something to make some real progress, I think diplomatically.
I don't know if I would consider giving a country known to fund terrorism in that area like a couple $100
You
billion
know that like
really.
every single country in the Middle East funds terrorism, right?
Yeah, which
Like,
is why we shouldn't be giving them any money. Like, if they fund terrorism,
well, I don't
and
think
kill
we
people,
give them money.
we gave them $300 billion in the Iran deal, did we not?
No.
Yeah.
The money, okay, this is a really common meme that gets passed off. So as part of the sanctions and whatnot that we put on Iran over the years, we have frozen a lot of their assets overseas. A part of the dealing that we made in terms of this nuclear Iran deal was to release some of those assets to give them back. We're not printing them $500 million and sending it to them as like hostage payments or whatever. Like, I don't know, there's a ton of alt-right
Right,
memes.
but they're still getting $300 billion back.
Wasn't it
Regardless of whether it was theirs or not to begin with, they're getting
Wasn't it
$300
$300
billion to spend.
Wasn't it 300 million?
300 billion. It's 300 billion, 100 billion, however much it was. It's probably, it might be more, it might be less. The point is,
Or was that
they're
all together?
getting-
Are you talking about like the specific? I don't know if you were talking. Oh, because there was the plane with the 400 million. Are you talking about all together? Regardless of the money
Probably.
that they're getting, we're not
Yeah.
printing them and sending them money. We're
Well, no, but we're still, but they're still
releasing
getting
funds
money.
to them. Yeah, sure.
I just don't think we should be giving them or letting them have more money is the thing. I mean, we already know that they're creating nukes against our will. I mean, we said close your cease your nuclear production on bombs. They said okay, but we're going to keep our nuclear energy up. Like, come on.
Well, I mean, that's part of the arrangement that we made. What is
Right,
the
yeah,
alternative?
it's
What is the
kind of a-
alternative?
Alternative is to not give them money, to not give their
And then what do we
unfreeze some
do
of their
when they
assets.
continue to develop nuclear weapons?
Well, I mean, they're already doing it anyway. It's not
But
like
really?
us
How do
giving
you
them...
know that?
I don't know that they're making nuclear weapons, but it's one of those things where, it's just common sense. Like, Israel has nuclear weapons, even though they say they don't. Like, it's just kind of one of those things. Like,
where is your evidence
they
for
gotta have
Israel having nuclear weapons?
How do you really think that Israel doesn't have nuclear weapons? Like, with the amount of countries around them with nuclear weapons that want to see them, like, actually leveled to the ground, that they wouldn't have found some way, and how snug they are with the US, that they wouldn't have at least one nuclear missile ready to go.
Okay, I mean, I guess they might, but I guess like here's the problem. So there's like two routes it seems we can go. Like we can either try to work out a deal with Iran, where we hopefully stop them from creating nuclear weapons. I'm pretty sure that the deal we made gives us access to their facilities and whatnot if we want to do if we want to have people come in and look around, or we just don't make any deals. And I mean, what, they inevitably work their way towards nukes? You're saying that they're working their way towards nukes no matter what?
Well, I mean, obviously we don't want them to have nukes, but they're going to make them whether we give them money, unfreeze their assets or not. I feel like it'd be better to not give them extra
So
funds.
then your solution is an all-out ground war against Iran. We need 50,000
Oh,
troops
whoa,
on the ground immediately?
that's a lot of words in my mouth right
Well,
there.
what is
No.
the alternative? So you're saying that any deal we make
Look,
doesn't matter and
I'm
isn't going to
not-
do anything. So what's the alternative?
Right now, I mean, that's not for me to decide. I'm not a fucking
Okay, but this
business
is the
professional.
problem,
All
because
I'm
it's-
say-
'cause
no,
it seems
all
like-
I'm saying, all I'm saying is that we shouldn't be giving them or unfreezing their. We shouldn't be giving them. Just assume I mean that when I say unfreezing assets. We shouldn't be giving them more money to fund more nuclear weapons research. Like whether or not they make
But
them.
the whole point of our deal is that we get the ability to monitor their shit so that they don't fund nuclear weapons research.
Yeah, because governments totally don't have like blind spots in their country to fund like secret.
Okay, but they
projects
have
or
like,
whatever,
but they
right?
have actual incentive not to do it now, right? Because they're receiving money
Oh,
back, and because
it's
they're...
Iran, dude. They're not. They don't play by the rules. They're like they may as well just be some rogue city state or something. It's Iran. They hate America. They're like one of the most radical countries there. Same with Saudi Arabia. They don't play by the rules. Come on.
I
You
mean,
know they
Saudi
gotta have something
Arabia
going on
is
there.
our ally, dog.
Dude, Saudi Arabia is like terrible.
Yeah, but they're our ally.
They shouldn't be. That's the problem. We're allying ourselves with these disgusting countries. Fucking murder gay people, execute them, beat women whenever. Like, it's like these horrible countries. And didn't Congress just pass this like law that lets American families on 9/11 like sue Saudi Arabia, basically confirming Saudi Arabia had something to do with 9/11? Yet we're their ally, even though they were the country who was pretty much confirmed to be behind one of like the worst terrorist attacks in like this decade.
Ask this guy if he even knew
mean,
what
it
the
just seems
provisions of the deal.
It just seems kind of weird to me that we would ally ourselves with these types of countries, considering the values of the U.S., which is completely opposite to the values of them. That we would unfreeze their assets and give them money, and then say, "Now you better not make nuclear weapons." When we have where's the
Well, but
proof that
that's
they're not making
not-
nuclear weapons?
well,
Is the thing.
I mean, I guess if you're telling me that the oversight is just a big meme, I can't really argue with you, but I'm pretty sure that part of that deal included their ability to go in and monitor the reactors and whatnot to make sure that they weren't making weapons grade, whatever, in order to create nuclear weapons. I'm pretty sure that was like...
Right, and that's fine. I'm sure the ones we know about aren't making nuclear weapons, but I mean,
But they have different nuclear reactors.
I feel like they may have some secret project like the U.S. inevitably does. Every country has them. It's just one of those things where the government has blind spots in their country where like they're the only ones who know about it. I mean, the U.S. military doesn't show us everything they have.
Sure, but
I
I
mean,
feel like I feel like our intelligence and our surveillance is good enough that I feel like it's probable that if they were to try to bring up online like giant nuclear reactors to create nuclear weapons, I feel like I don't think that's possible. Am I wrong? I don't think you can like build secret nukes. I'm pretty sure that's like a Metal Gear Solid meme. Like you have to like have a very large
Well,
like
no, I
you
mean,
need like large infrastructure in order to create nuclear weapons. I don't think that's something that's been like you can do it on like your Samsung Galaxy like Note 5 or whatever yet. I don't think.
well, I mean, like, I feel like the fact that we don't know whether Israel has nuclear weapons or not, we don't know if North Korea has nuclear weapons or not, we don't know if Iran has nuclear weapons or not. I feel like that kind of goes to show how easy it can be to make a nuke without the knowledge of another country. I mean, if it was so hard to make nuclear weapons in privacy, when we
Well,
would
if
know, we
Israel
would know
has
for
nuclear
sure.
weapons, is it because they made them or because they got them from the United States?
It could be either one. I mean, at that point, really just flip a coin and guess. I mean,
Okay,
if they
but
were
there's a
making
huge
them,
difference between a country secretly made nuclear weapons.
well, no, I mean, it could be like it could be a case of they made them with intel from the U.S. and the U.S. just turned a blind eye and didn't tell anybody. Because I mean, it could be a case of the U.S. gave them nuclear weapons.
I don't
I mean,
think that it's no. It's not a matter of like you need the intel or the research or the science score. It's a matter of like the infrastructure required to make the weapons grade uranium or whatever is like pretty massive. I don't think that's something that you can hide from the world. Like if you're doing it, I think everybody will see it.
Well, we were able to hide it when we were first designing them. I mean, clearly they can be made in private. Otherwise, we wouldn't have been able to get the jump in the 40s.
Okay, you're comparing surveillance capabilities in the 40s
Okay, that's
in
fair.
creating a weapon that had
No, that's
never been
fair.
used
That's
or
fair.
seen before in the history of all of mankind, right? Yeah, I don't think.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Yeah, that's fair. Well, I don't know. I feel like in this case, it just comes down to how confident we are in the U.S.'s ability to monitor certain types of deals in certain types of areas.
I mean, I guess I'm more confident. I feel like that path has a realistic chance of at least playing out some good results rather than just continuing to sanction them and then hope that they don't make nukes because they run out of money or something. Like,
No, it's more of a case of like us propping that terrible country up, in my opinion. It's not really a case of like giving them more money to make nukes. They'd probably figure it out
so
one way
how
or
do we
another.
move towards normalizing or bettering relations with Iran?
I feel like it's not really our business to do that, in all honesty. I feel like we should take care of our own country before we go about trying to fix the rest of the world.
Okay, so you would want to see us like step back completely from NATO?
Not from NATO. Like, I wouldn't step back completely from NATO, but the other countries should definitely start putting in their fair share. I mean, right now we're like what 95% of all the military funds in NATO, with like Poland being the only other country that really pays their share, maybe the UK.
What?
Like, I think the other countries in NATO should definitely step up. It shouldn't just be us running the entire thing.
Okay, so what what I was gonna say is I think one of like what isn't one of the stated goals of NATO or at the very least the United States is lack of nuclear proliferation around the world, right? I think that most people in general agree that less countries with nukes is probably a better thing, right? I think most people agree with that.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious.
Yeah. So why would you just want to leave them alone and let them develop nukes without completely unfettered from any kind of responsibility to any kind of other countries? Like,
Because, you know, if we, because, I mean, I'm not saying completely leave them alone, but I'm saying we probably shouldn't have as much oversight as we do. I mean, you know, Russia wants to get involved. I say we let them get involved in like Syria and shit.
well,
I mean, let other countries kind of take the heat as well. It shouldn't just be us playing world policeman all the
yeah,
time.
but then you're talking about Russia expanding its influence over the United States, right? I don't
Not over
think.
the United States, over the Middle East.
Well, I mean, over the United States in the Middle East.
I mean, it wouldn't really be. I mean, I don't really care if Russia starts spreading their influence or whatever in areas we were in. It's not our area to begin with. It's not even our country. It's not anywhere close to our land.
Sure, but I mean, they're kind of close to our buddies in Israel, and we seem to care a lot about them.
Right, and that's fine. I really doubt Russia wants to start a war with the U.S. anyway. I don't think they're going to be fucking storming the gates of Israel anytime soon. And Russia knows it'd be completely. I mean, it would end it. I mean, if they get to war with the U.S., it's either they surrender or the entire world gets blown up. I mean, it's pretty obvious on both sides.
So
If
you're,
you actually look at
but
if you actually look at the military capabilities of the U.S., there's no way that Russia can even match up. Period.
yeah, no, but it's never about that. I'm just saying that like, you would want to give Russia complete access to controlling the entire Middle East.
Not over the entire Middle East, but I think that we should at least let them help if they want to help.
Well, but
We
if you're
shouldn't
talking
go
about
full-
giving them control over Iran and giving them control over Syria, I mean, Iran.
not
is-
over, it wouldn't be complete control, but a joint operation or something, maybe lessen the load on the U.S. a bit.
I don't think I don't think that we're at a state right now in our relations with Russia where we're very interested in joint
Well,
operations with them.
Putin literally just said that he's willing to restore full ties to the U.S. now that Trump's the president. So I don't know. In
Putin
the
is
next
willing to
couple
say that
years.
because Putin has been losing the war against NATO for the past 30 or 40 years. I mean, so
Yeah,
obviously
so-
Putin is ready, but I'm just saying that, like, it seems weird that you would talk about how you don't trust Iran at all, even though we have access to some of their facilities with this deal and whatnot, but you're completely ready and willing to trust Putin to do the right thing for everything.
I'm not really willing to trust anybody. I'm just saying maybe we should let them help us out a bit is all. I'm not saying give them 100% unsupervised oversight over everything in the Middle East. I'm not saying pull out completely and let them look over every single little thing and we'll just forget about it and let them do whatever the hell they want over there.
Well, but we're
I'm
not
just
just
saying
forgetting
maybe-
about it again. Like, that deal was contingent on access to their reactors to be able to monitor them.
Right. Your point?
Or I guess that doesn't matter because they could just make other secret reactors and then we wouldn't see them. It was the...
I mean, dude, I just don't really think we need to be giving them a bunch of money, and I really don't think. I think it's a little naive to think that they have absolutely zero capability to make any nuclear bombs or any nuclear missiles, and that they absolutely 100% do not have any nuclear weapons or anything of the sort. I just think it's like kind of wishful thinking, honestly.
Gotcha. And then but your evidence for that is just a gut feeling?
Well, what's your evidence that they do that they don't?
The
just a
massive
gut
deal
feeling?
that was multilaterally signed by tons of people in our and supported by tons of people in our intelligence and government community with both
Yeah, because-
Iran and the United States. Like,
Because Iran has totally been known to hold on to deals like that in the past, right? They totally follow all the rules. I mean, we're not dealing with Canada here. This is a Middle Eastern country that does not play by any of our rules.
okay, so everybody in the United States government just got completely duped by Iran as well, then, and everybody in our intelligence community and all the advisors of the president all got duped by Iran.
That's honestly why I kind of hate the deal, because I don't think it was a good deal. I don't think it was a good thing we should have signed it, and I don't think it's something we should have done. I don't think we can reliably make sure they don't make any type of nuclear weapons.
So what is
I
the
feel like if
alternative to
they-
keeping them from getting nuclear weapons?
Well, I think one of the first steps is to not give them a ton of money.
So you think the
We've
difference between
literally
them
gone full
getting
circle.
nukes or not is whether or not we unfreeze their assets?
I feel like we shouldn't unfreeze their assets regardless if we're worried they're going to start making nuclear weapons.
Okay, so so then what's the alternative to keeping them from getting nuclear weapons?
Well, step one is not giving them a ton of money.
Okay, wait, I'm not asking what we don't do. I'm saying what do we do to keep them from getting nuclear weapons? Because it seems like the only other alternative then is like literally going to war with them or just leaving completely and just letting them get nukes.
I wouldn't really say going to war. I mean, either way, they're going to make nukes. We can't really, the only way to 100% make sure they don't develop nukes is to literally do a ground war and to like seize their entire country and seize all their operations and look at everything. That's like pretty much the only way you can 110% guarantee that they're not making nukes, or the very least, the only way you can seize all the nukes. Like, in a perfect world, obviously they wouldn't have nuclear weapons. The fact of the matter is they probably do have nuclear weapons. Like Israel, it's like, can't really, if a country wants to make nukes, you're not going to really be able to stop them after a while. Same with North Korea. I mean, we don't, I personally don't think they have nukes, but they sure as hell want them, and they're still working on it. And it's inevitably going to happen regardless of what we do.
I guess I have a hard time believing that they have these secret nukes being made, but we literally have like massive surveillance on even our allied countries. I don't know. I guess I'm just not buying that premise. I feel like if you wanted to take that route, then that you could like, you understand that using that same logic, I could piece together any story that I wanted about anything ever, right?
I think being able to I think spying on our allies who are usually pretty progressive countries and like technologically speaking, where it's a lot easier to monitor a country with like a full power grid, a full cellular network, as opposed to a country like Iran where they
So
don't
you're
really
saying that
have
Iran is
all of
building
that.
these nukes, literally massive facilities completely off the grid in these hidden areas with no power, not connected to anything?
No, that's not what I'm saying at all. What? No, I was just saying it's a little easier to spy on people when they have like an entire cellular grid set up as opposed to Iran, where they probably have a ton of villages where they
They're
absolutely
building
have no
nukes
power.
in the villages? I mean, I feel like it would be pretty obvious to spot the parts in Iran where nuclear weapons are being assembled. It's probably not going to be the villages with the
No,
tiki
I
huts.
just-
Like,
No, I feel like if people are going to, no, my point is, it's probably harder.
you
to
know that
spy a
Iran
country
is like a real country, right? Like
Yes,
they don't
I
live
know
in
I-
they
yes,
don't
I
live
know
in
I-
like
yes.
caves and shit. They have like cities with buildings and Right.
Yes, I am aware of that, but I'm not really worried about those areas. I'm more worried, like, if a
And
country actually wants to make nuclear weapons, I feel like they'll figure out a way to do it without the U.S. spying on them. That's just how it is. Like, there's always where there's a will, there's a way. I really think that if a country is dead set on making nuclear weapons, that they'll find a way to not get spied on, or they'll at the very least they'll find a way to keep it in the dark. I mean, whether they use false flags to try to send the U.S. on wild goose chases somewhere else. I feel like if they absolutely wanted nuclear weapons, they would find a way to
I
make
guess that
them.
like
It's not really
Osama
like
bin Laden is a single person, and he couldn't keep his own body safe. Just one person. He couldn't keep himself from the United States finding him. The ass end of fucking Pakistan. How the fuck are you gonna hide a nuclear facility for enriching uranium
I
in
mean,
a
Obama's a
country of
little different. I
Iran?
mean, he hid for a really long time, and the only reason we found him is because we got a piece of intel that we acted on really quickly. We basically like we set up and we conducted this illegal, completely illegal operation to go into a country that we had no right to be in to grab Osama, and then we left. That operation was completely like we weren't even supposed to be in Pakistan. Like that was we found we got a little bit of intel and we acted on it literally immediately because it was great press. Like you can't really compare that to a nuclear weapon. I mean, he kept himself hidden for so long, and if that one piece of intel hadn't come through, we probably would have never found him. At the very least, we wouldn't have cared enough to go get him.
I mean, oh, okay. So, we got one piece of intel that led us to Osama bin Laden, but we would never get a piece of intel about Iran building nuclear weapons.
Unless they had a leak, I really don't think so.
What do you think is more likely to have a leak, the government of Iran or somebody working alongside Osama bin Laden?
I mean, I really don't think the government of Iran is prone to have a leak, considering they seem to be the type of person where we'll kill you if we think you're going to do anything.
I mean, the government of Iran was stupid enough to let a virus get into their nuclear centrifuges and cause permanent damage to some of them. Like, I don't know, dude. I don't have very much confidence in in that kind of a country. I guess like it seems like you're trying to say that Iran is this third world country that lives off the grid and all these things.
That's not what I'm saying.
Kind of implying that. And then
No,
you're saying that they're a
Iran
rock tight
is
government with no leaks whatsoever, and everyone is super faithful and loyal to the cause. Like,
no, I'm more or less saying that they would probably if they were making nuclear weapons, they would probably have it on need no basis.
so
it
I
would
guess
probably
like
be only a few people.
when I start to look at like how a conspiracy theory is constructed, I try to look at like how much allowances you're giving that require like an unbelievable amount of faith.
It's not like I'm saying
So, like,
literally the entire government would know about the nuclear weapons program or anything like that. It would probably be
Sure,
a
but I
small
mean, like,
subset of
let's
people.
let's walk through what's going on here. So you're saying that the United States is engaged in a deal where every single member of government was duped. You're saying that our intelligence community, which is probably the best intelligence community that has ever existed in the history of the planet Earth, would be incapable of finding nuclear reactors, even though we were capable of deploying a computer virus that destroyed some, right? And then you're saying that Iran could create nukes in the country, even though it's a country that's probably under constant surveillance by us, with limited geography available to it. It could create large-scale nuclear reactors and whatnot to enrich uranium and do all this stuff, and create these missiles that nobody would know about, right? Like, each of these things requires a pretty amazing suspension of disbelief, I feel.
I mean, not really. When you see the stuff that America is doing, I mean, like the stuff that they're releasing now. I mean, it's well known the U.S. military is like 5 to 10 years ahead of the current tech they showed at the public. How did they keep all that hidden, right? Even though like where would they hide that?
Well, because not everybody has the intelligence network that the United States of America has.
No, but that's fine. But if we can make extremely advanced stuff like that, I'm pretty sure a country like Iran, who was hell-bent on making nuclear weapons, could figure out how to make nuclear weapons in secret. Especially since the U.S. is able to keep so much hidden.
Well, yeah,
I
but
feel
the
like-
U.S. is keeping so much hidden because nobody else has the surveillance or intelligence that the United States does.
I don't know. I feel like China could be up there with the amount of intelligence and shit. I mean, all they do is like hack all day.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, sure. Maybe somebody like China, but I mean, Iran is not China.
Well, no, what I'm saying is that America's not the only one with this type of information. Even so, they're so far ahead, it wouldn't take all the information they have to make a nuclear weapon in secret. It would only take a teeny bit. And
What do you,
again, if a country is so hell bent on making a nuclear weapon, I feel that they would probably be able to find the means to do it.
what do you think about like? Hold on, I'm sidestepping a little bit. What do you think about like Pizzagate?
I don't know. I really haven't read a whole lot about it. I read some of the leaks. They seem kind of weird. Like, I don't know. I haven't really done a lot of research into Pizzagate. I mean, is it possible? Maybe. Is it probable? Probably not. I mean, it's really just a case of, it's just, I don't know. I haven't really read a lot about it. It looks kind of interesting, but I'd have to read more on the vote to see what like the newest developments are. I will say the email leaks are probably a little weird. I mean, pizza related map and all that shit seems kind of like code. I don't really know about the whole child molestation aspect. I feel like it'd be more likely to be just prostitutes, honestly, like brothels and shit. But again, I really haven't read a whole lot about it.
Do you think that 9/11 was caused by the United States government to get us to go to war with Iraq?
No, I really don't think that.
Wait, why not?
What? What are you asking me why I don't think 9/11 was an inside job?
Yeah, wait, didn't you see the buildings come down?
Yeah.
How do you explain the one building that came down that wasn't hit by a plane or much of any debris at all? Or the fact that it looked like both buildings came down precisely in controlled demolition ways. Like, if you saw both of them, Tower 7 was the one I was talking about, but if you saw both the buildings come down, like, it looked like a controlled demolition, right? They just started from the top and then, went straight down, even though the planes hit them from the sides.
I think you're kind of reaching there, honestly.
How am I reaching? I mean, like, you saw the plane hit the building from the side. It wouldn't tip over or do anything at all. It would just literally go straight from top to bottom. Like, that seems kind of weird. You don't think so?
I think you're really reaching, honestly.
Tell me how I'm reaching.
Dude, are you really trying to tell me that 9/11 was an inside job straight up?
I really think that the Bush family had a vested interest in going to the Middle East. I'm just curious why you think it's impossible.
I'm not saying it's impossible, but improbable, yeah.
Okay, but tell me why.
Because that just seems crazy, dude. Like, for real. Like, do you have any idea how crazy that sounds? Like the type, like the amount of planning and bullshittery that would have to go into that.
You've heard of CIA programs where the CIA has experimented on, like, American citizens. Like, these programs are...
Yeah, I've heard about that, yeah.
So if stuff like that is precedent, why would you say that something like 9/11 is completely and totally insane?
Because I really don't think that we would blow up 2 buildings just so we could go to war to some shitty Middle East country.
I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know. I mean, what about the oil and whatnot?
I mean, if we wanted the oil, I'm sure we could find some other reason to go to war.
How else would you get the American public when Saddam was kind of our friend before everything, right after the Gulf War and whatnot, when we were kind of like cool in relations with him?
Have the media hit Saddam for using using biochemical weapons against his own people?
Yeah, but we already did that, right? Wasn't that what the Gulf War or whatever was about? Where we went in and we pushed him back from hurting all the
Yeah, we were able to go
Kuwait
in then. There was no reason why we had to.
Well, that's because he literally
down 2 towers to go in again.
Was it in Kuwait or the Kurdish people that he gassed the fuck out of? Like, we had reason to go in then. What reason could we have manufactured outside of that?
Is that he's an evil motherfucker who we need to deal with?
And that's it? Do you think that would have been enough to get the American people to go in?
I feel like yeah. I mean, the American people don't. I mean, I feel like it'd be better taking down 2 towers for no reason.
I don't know. Why did we go into Iraq? What was the stated reason?
I'm really not sure, honestly.
Yeah, no one really knows, right? But somehow we were able to get there's one name, but we were able to get like kind of like corralled into going over there after 9/11 for some reason, but we don't really know why we went over, right? I don't know. It just seems like everything lines up too neatly. Like 9/11 happens, and then it seems like a few days later we're talking about going to war with Iraq that had nothing to do with 9/11. I don't know. It just seems kind of strange,
Strange, yeah. Probable. I really don't think so.
And looking at the towers coming down, do you really think that it looked like they were just, because the planes hit them, they came down perfectly straight like that?
I mean, they seem pretty normal, honestly. I mean, didn't seem anything like too crazy.
I guess it's just weird because every time I see buildings come down or whatever, it seems like they always like tip a little bit.
Oh, do you
Unless
see
it's
buildings?
like
Do you see buildings come down a lot in your day?
no, I'm just saying that like in general, like if something gets hit from the side, like a Jenga tower or whatever doesn't fall straight from top to bottom, right? But like the only time you see buildings go from like that top to bottom shit is when they're doing like an actual like demolition of a building to clear room for something else, you know?
Say so.
Huh.
I feel like you're just baiting me really hard, honestly, dude.
Well, I mean,
That's all it's seeming like.
I mean, like
At
you're
this point,
literally
I'm just-
telling
at
me
this
that
point,
like
I'm just letting you like
I don't
ramble on
I
about
don't
9/11 being an
understand how
inside
you
job
can
and
be
shit.
so sure that 9/11 wasn't an inside job, but you're telling me that the entire U.S. intelligence community got duped by Iran and signing a deal that nobody was able to see past, except for some insanely intelligent alt-writers on the internet were able to see that it was a bad deal. But everybody else in the intelligence community seems to have gotten hardcore duped into it, and Iran is going to be making secret nukes in underground of these
Because
tiki
I feel
villages
like
that are
I feel like
completely
there's
off
like
the grid.
I feel like there's a difference between making nuclear weapons and fucking 9/11.
Okay, but
sending
making
two
nuclear
buildings down to
weapons
go
is
to war
very
with two
difficult. It
giant
requires
countries.
massive infrastructure, right? So I don't understand why we wouldn't engage in Iran, give them incentive not to do it, like financially, like lifting sanctions that did have damaging impacts on their
Yes,
countries.
because a country like Iran, who is so hell-bent on making nuclear weapons, who takes this deal that says, "Oh yeah."
Yeah, but
I won't
Iran
make
has a
nuclear weapons
people
anymore
too,
for
dog.
free
Iran has a
money.
population of people
Like,
that
they
used to
care
be
about
really.
the people. Oh, don't give me that.
You
Oh,
kind of
Iran
have to,
cares about the
dog. Well, remember the
people. They
Arab
care about
Spring?
the
Like, there's a lot
population.
of fucking
If they-
people protesting all over these fucking countries, dude. If the
Yeah,
government.
and there's a reason for that because the government doesn't listen to them, so they have to protest to get their voice out.
Yeah, sure. And if
they
Iran
listened,
goes
the
back to
government actually
doing
listened to the
things,
country, then they wouldn't
sure. And a
need to
country that's
protest
starving,
constantly.
a country that's getting fucked by sanctions all across their fucking country because those sanctions had dramatic impacts on fucking Iran, right? If they were to go back into doing shit that caused us to pull out of the deal because it looked like they were enriching weapons and the population went back to being fucked again, you don't think that might be cause for protest? That might be cause for looking at new leadership? Like, I don't know. I feel like when I look at the Iran plan, it seems like the Iran plan acknowledges the realities that you speak of, that Iran did want to get nuclear weapons, but we're trying to give them every incentive we can not to. If we are friends with Iran, if we're allies with Iran, in the same way that we're allies with even fucking Saudi Arabia or Turkey, which are both horrible fucking countries, right? At the very least, we could be friends with them, we can work with them, and then we can kind of, in the future, work towards making their governments better, but in the immediacy, at least keep them from wanting to get or develop nuclear weapons. In the world that you're talking about, where we just say fuck them and we keep freezing their assets, you're just sending them down that predictable path anyway, right? If the government starts working on nuclear weapons, who the fuck cares? The population's not going to care. They're getting fucked by the United States no matter what, right? But at the very least right now, we're incentivizing them not to do it, you know? If we give them sanctions and we keep going the hardball route that we did before, why the fuck wouldn't Iran work towards nuclear weapons? Like, they have no reason not to. Like, they might as well. They're getting fucked anyway for it, right? But at least now they have massive incentive not to. Their funds are being unfrozen from overseas. We're trying to build normalized relations with them. Where the population isn't being as hurt as much by all the sanctions that we had on the country before. Like, I don't know. It just seems like the Iran deal moves us more into a reasonable future where we're incentivizing them not to create nukes, whereas everything else was just like saying, fuck you, Iran. Like, go ahead and build nukes if you dare. And they're like, well, fuck it. We might as well. There's no reason not to, you know?
No, I don't know. It just comes off as weird to me that countries so hell bent on making nukes was so happy and excited to sign this big ass deal saying they would no
because
longer
the
make
sanctions
nukes.
were
It just-
really
no,
fucking
it
the
just
country
seems,
over,
no, it
dude.
just seems like they were too. No, it just seems they were too easy to jump on it. It seems like they have something going on behind the scenes. I feel it seems like they were too ready to go. They were like, oh yeah, this doesn't matter. Let's just fucking do it. Yo, why not? It's like it seems like they didn't even care about the repercussions. They wouldn't be able to make nuclear weapons. It strikes me as they were too into it. Maybe they're not making nuclear big weapons. Maybe they're making backdoor deals with other countries to give them nuclear weapons.
Can I read something
I
real
mean,
fast?
you don't know. There's 1,000 different ways that Iran can
Well,
get
but
nuclear
I
weapons. You
do
don't
know
have to be
I
strictly
do know
making
that the
them.
sanctions.
It doesn't matter if they make them. It matters if they have
I
them.
think the problem is that I think the sanctions had a very dramatic impact on Iran that you don't understand. Like, the sanctions on Iran
Yes, I
were
understand
very,
sanctions
very,
ruin their economy.
very,
Yes, I
very,
get that.
very, very, very bad. So, but you're making it sound like, well, they were so excited to just get rid of these sanctions. Like, it literally sounds like somebody had like a giant fucking clothespin over a dude's dick, and then you went up to the dude and you're like, yo, dude, if you fucking, lick my dick or whatever, I'll take off the clothespin that's like choking your penis and it's gonna cause it to die of like fucking necrosis, right? And so the guy's like, hell yeah, dude, I don't want my dick to fucking fall off. And so he licks the dude's dick, and you're like, I don't understand. Why was he so eager to go forth and lick this guy's dick? Something is going on here. I don't agree. I feel like something, like, it's like, well, I mean, I feel like they had pretty good incentive to, right? But it seems like you're completely writing off the fact that Iran's entire economy was getting completely fucked by the sanctions, and you're just like, well, I don't know. I think there's got to be another motive. I don't think there needs to be another motive, dog. Like Iran was getting fucked by these sanctions. Like I guess I won't read. Like I mean, you can like like you can go Google or whatever. Like it's really like if you just Google like sanctions effects on Iran, like you can get tons of articles about how Iran has been completely fucked by these sanctions, and they have the potential to become, you know, a really strong economic powerhouse in the world. And then in an area of the world where literally like country after country after country in these Arab worlds are revolting against these horrible fucking leaders, like I don't know, it just seems strange to me that the government would be like, fuck it, let's take our chances. Not to mention that forging an ally with Iran could literally be the most beneficial fucking thing we could ever do in that region. Right, because forging allies with Iran also gives us access to Syria as well, right? You're talking about these Shia governments.
What do you think? Okay, that's fine, but I still don't really agree with the fact that we're giving them a shit ton of money. That's just going to help them fund their terror
giving them
military
money
regimes.
back, but
okay, it's giving them money back, giving them money. The point is, they get that money, they get to spend it, and they're gonna put it most likely back into their military and terror. And
well,
that's a good idea to give them. I mean, what else can they spend it on, dude?
Their economy.
Yeah, some of it, sure, but all of it? You don't think they're gonna put a single penny into terror military regimes? Really?
Dude, the most money from fucking terror right now in the Middle East comes from the fucking Gulf states, dog.
They're gonna take literally all the money they're gonna get, and they're gonna put none of it into their military.
I don't know. They might put a little bit. They're a fucking sovereign nation. They can put into terror. Doug, when you're talking about funding terror in the Middle East, you're not talking about countries like Iran. You're talking about countries like Saudi Arabia, Qatar, the UAE. These are countries that have funded.
Iran is in there with them, dude.
No, dude, these are countries that have funded terror in fucking Iraq and Syria. What do you think?
It's okay to give them money to fund their terror regime. Is that what you're saying?
I'm not saying that it's okay. I'm just saying
there's a small chance they will not make nuclear weapons, right?
I'm just saying that it's funny when Sunni opposition in fucking Syria and Iraq have gotten all of their fucking money from the Gulf states, and now we're talking like, well, I don't want to give any money to fucking Iran. What if they fucking fund terrorists like somewhere like fuck? I don't even know where the fuck Iran would fund terrorists at. Like, listen, dude, I don't know, man. So your argument is that Iran is going to get this money and they're going to send it 100%.
Iran specifically said, their supreme leader or whatever, fucking Ali Khamenei, whatever his name is, he said specifically he's not going to change his anti-American policy. So when they're not going to just like cease all these terror activities.
Can you give me a link of him saying? Can you give me a link of him saying I'm never going to like the United States? What was the guy's name?
It was here, right here. I got you a link, bro. Gotta open up. There you go. Oh shit, wait, no, that's not the right link. There you go.
Okay, 2015. Iran's avowed opposition to an arrogant United States government will not change despite a landmark nuclear deal with world power. The Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei said on Saturday in a speech in which he addressed Iran was sharply at odds with U.S. policy across the Middle East. Khamenei, I can't pronounce his names, highlighted huge differences over the conflicts in Syria, Yemen, and other regional states. The remarks were greeted by customary chants of death to America, a feature of public ceremonies since the Islamic revolutions in 1979, which toppled the U.S.-backed Shah. Our policy towards the arrogant U.S. government will not change, Khamenei said at a prayer gathering in Tehran, marking the end of the Muslim fasting month of Ramadan. U.S. policies in the region differ from Iran's by 180 degrees. I mean, fuck, dude. It sounds pretty bad, but I mean, can you really disagree with them? Like, we're literally funding, or we tried to for a long time, funding and arming the opposition in Syria, which is an ally to Iran.
A couple reasons to disagree with the sentiment of death to America. If you really think about it, I'm sure you could find a couple reasons to disagree with that statement.
If you are Iran, and one of your only other allies in the region is Syria, okay? Your buddy Assad, okay? And that country is literally a failed state as a result of the United States and its allies funding opposition in that state to try to attempt to topple him because we don't like Russia's position with the country. You don't see how that could lead Iran to being like a little bit salty with us? Like, you don't think that that's kind of like a predictable...
I mean, that's fine. They can be salty, but if we're giving them $300 billion, I don't think they should be fucking chanting death to Americans saying they're never going to change their stance.
Okay, but I mean, like, you're talking... This is a lot of history. This is a lot of history of hatred to overrule, like, in a single...
I mean, if we're going to get them a shit ton of money, at least try to stay at least somewhat neutral. Try not to be so open about it.
I mean,
right?
I guess like it's kind of like you have like an
I mean, it just
abusive
seems like a
relationship,
case
and the
of
husband
we're
is like
doing-
slapping the shit out of the fucking wife and like raping her on a daily basis, and then he comes in the next day and
Okay,
he's like,
everyone's
"Listen,
like, okay,
dude,
but that's
I'm not
assuming
gonna
that
rape
Iran is
you
completely
anymore.
defenseless
I'm
in
not
this. You're
gonna
saying
rape
Iran's
you."
like completely defenseless, like the woman. When Iran has done many bad things as well. It's like you're saying as if like the woman Iran is like this super defenseless little person who's like never done anything wrong in their lives. And
Okay,
we're
but
this
listen.
big mean old America's going out to slap.
Okay, but this is what I'm saying. This idea, okay, this is a very attractive idea in like a fucking movie. We're like, oh, justice and retribution. We gotta hold people accountable for what they've done. But like, this shit doesn't get us anywhere in the real world, dog. What do you want to do?
Yeah,
Fucking
that's
punish
fine, but
Iran
there's
for their
better
shit?
ways to do
We've
it.
already
Get the
done
$300 billion.
better ways to do it. What do you mean? How?
Maybe don't give them $300 billion.
So what? So we keep fucking the countries over?
I'm sure if we keep giving them, dude, you said they hate the sanctions directly. Why not say let us oversee your military, your nuclear weapons, whatever, your fucking nuclear reactors, and we'll remove the sanctions. Period. Why do you have to give them $300 billion? If they're so eager to jump at all of these sanctions being removed, then why not just say, okay, all you have to do to get the sanctions removed is to let us look over your nuclear reactors?
Isn't that what
That's
we
all
did?
you have
Wasn't
to do.
that the
No,
agreement?
You gave them $300 billion extra plus that. For no reason, just like
What do you mean for no reason? You act like we didn't get anything out of the deal. We have access to their facilities.
We got something out of the deal that we could have gotten without giving them $300 billion. Guarantee it. If they were so eager, I'm sure they could have just said, "Okay, just let us oversee your nuclear reactors, and then we'll remove the sanctions." There's no reason to give them $300 billion at all. That seems just like some fucking thing we threw in for the sake of throwing it in, honestly.
Tostitos and the NFL.
I guess like when I look at the narrative that you're presenting me and I look at the tone, I feel like there is no path forward with that tone into creating allies in the Middle East.
Can I address your chat directly really quick? Because they're being really dumb right now.
Sure.
Okay, chat, why do you think $300 billion doesn't matter when you give it to a country that has knowingly funded terrorism?
Yeah, but every single country in the Middle East is funded.
Oppression of the people, right? Like, you know, everything America's against for, right? Against. Why do you think it's okay to give that country $300 billion, chat? Please, would you like to explain it? Yo, you are dumb, Mr. Carl Castillo.
Wait a second.
You
Doug,
are.
every single country in the Middle East fucking funds terrorism. Turkey fucking co-opted the weapons programs that we had when we were trying to send
do you
weapons.
think we should be giving them money too? We should give everybody who funds terrorism money, right?
So your goal is
Like,
we just
shit,
need to
dude.
remove ourselves completely from the Middle East.
I never said that.
But then what's the alternative? What's the alternative?
The alternative is to not give them money to start.
Okay, and if Russia offers them, money, who are they gonna go with?
Russia's deal, man.
So we just lose all of that influence to Russia.
We don't lose any of that.
Why
influence.
wouldn't we?
Because I really doubt Russia's gonna go around giving a shit ton of money to Middle
You
Eastern
really
countries
don't
when
think that Russia would try to buy influence in the Middle East, dog?
Putin has had actually one of them. Putin is really only gives a shit about Russia. He doesn't have any. Putin has like always been Russia first type of guy. I don't really think he's all of a sudden.
Yeah, and part of Russia first is expanding Russia's sphere of influence. Why do you say? Why do you?
Do you think the U.S. is gonna let Russia actually go in and start occupying areas or moving influence? Of course not.
It's not about occupying areas. It's about being allies with all of these countries. Right now, they're in the
You
United.
can be allies with them without giving them a shit ton of money, though. It's not like if you are the type of person that has to pay people to be your friends, you're probably a pretty shitty person in general. I feel like you don't really.
Dog, how else are countries friends with each other? Do we need to does Facebook need to have like the United States add fucking Iran to its fucking account and tag them in more events?
With not giving countries who knowingly fund terrorism billions of dollars.
Okay, so you're talking about
defunding
all of our.
I'm not saying defunding all of our relations. I'm just saying maybe we shouldn't give all these
Okay,
countries.
and
a
I'm
shit ton of
saying
money
that
to
your
begin
view
with.
of how politics works in this region is so insanely naive that it's mind-boggling. Okay, the current leader of Iraq has already talked about looking to Russia for help because the United States isn't helping them as much in recapturing places like Mosul. Okay, Russia will jump at the opportunity to extend its influence into other countries in the Middle East, and you're talking about removing funding from all of them and just walking away from all of it, which is essentially handing over the entire Middle East to Putin. But it seems like
walking away from it all.
Oh, so now you're saying we should maintain relations?
Money.
So how do we
No,
maintain relations without funding them at all? What kind of relations are you talking about? Are you talking about birthday parties? Are you talking about filming movies over there? Are you talking about sending prostitutes over? Like, tell me, in your own words, what kind of relations are you building if they don't involve some kind of financial support?
Well, I would assume, you know, like guaranteeing foreign aid if they ever need it in this case in a disaster. You know, having America behind your back.
America sends more money in foreign aid all
yes,
over the world than
exactly. But having a guaranteed line to that would be pretty nice. I feel a case of like if anything happens, you guaranteed right there.
And that's going to take the place of our military support, of our financial support. You think that guaranteeing them maybe a little bit of money?
I'm not against letting them military support. I'm against letting them cold hard cash like we did to Iran. I think you're misunderstanding.
So you think it was better when we gave them military vehicles and weapons in Iraq that all got stored in Mosul, that got taken by ISIS when they took the city because the military was incompetent?
Giving them military vehicles and military weapons and giving them like actual Okay, I think we have a what's the word? A misunderstanding of what military support means. I'm talking in terms of actual people. I think you're talking about in terms of weapons and, you know, like utilities.
Okay, so I don't know, dude. Let's back up a little bit, okay? Take a deep breath. You take a deep breath. We backed up a little bit. Hello? Are you still here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So tell me, what is your ideal plan with how the U.S. moves forward in relations to the Middle East? Can you just talk me through that?
Well, we can start with not giving Iran a couple $2 billion.
I'm not asking you what we shouldn't do. I'm asking you what we should do.
I would say do what we're doing, but not give Iran a couple $1 billion.
So do nothing and watch as Iran pushes towards nuclear weapons completely unfettered.
They're going to push toward nuclear weapons regardless, dude. It's just a matter of time. Like, you can do whatever the hell you want, but at the end of the day, they're probably going to do it regardless.
Okay. So you think that the deal we made, they all lied, and we don't actually get any access to any of their nuclear facilities at all, right?
We could get access, like I've said 1,000 times, we didn't have to give them the money to get access to nuclear facilities. I'm sure they would have done it specifically just to get rid of the sanctions. That's all I'm saying.
Then why did we give them the money?
Oh, that's what I'm fucking asking. Welcome to my world. Why did we give them the money?
Do you think it's because we wanted them to fund terrorists?
I'm not saying it's because they wanted to fund terrorists. That's going to absolutely be one of the consequences. I mean, we had to have taken that in consideration. I'm not saying we're funding
terrorism. How do you know that Iran would
have
taken the deal if we didn't release these funds to them?
You said they were, because you said specifically they were so eager to jump at the fact because these sanctions were ruining them, right?
Yeah,
so
but how do you know they? I don't know. How do you?
Because it would be it's something as trivial as letting America monitor your. If you're not, I mean, they said they denied making nuclear weapons. So I mean, if they refuse to let America oversee their nuclear facilities, then they're hiding something clearly. And if they want to get rid of these sanctions, they have nothing to hide, then why the hell do they care if America looks at their shit?
Well, I mean, wouldn't you say that like the funds that have been withheld aren't these kind of like part of?
Reason.
But the funds that were withheld, these are part of the sanctions that we put on the country.
Okay. We can keep those then. I mean, I figured that was pretty obvious.
So we should have unsanctioned them, but only unsanctioned them a little bit.
Yes. Get rid of the sanctions, but the ones that are keeping them from getting those $300 billion. Keeping them from getting a shit ton of funds to fund whatever the hell they want. I just feel like you're giving Iran a way too much leniency here and just trusting them so much.
Okay. I guess. I mean, I guess fundamentally I don't think we'll ever agree on this point, so I guess like when I look to the future, if Iran was a strong economic power and their country was doing well, and a large result of that was because of relations that helped that were worked out from by the United States, I feel like you would have a really hard time as a leader saying fuck the United States. And I feel like the people of your country would have a really hard time backing you if you said fuck the United States.
Except Iran's been doing that specifically, God, and it's been going just fine.
Okay, we literally just stopped fucking them, right? Wasn't there fucking somebody linked earlier? We did like tried to stage a coup in their country like fucking 40 or 50 years ago. Like we literally just stopped fucking Iran, okay? Literally with this deal. I feel like that if we move forward with a few years, right? If Iran starts to recover
I
economically,
really think you're naive if you think Iran-U.S. relations will ever improve in any reasonable amount of time, honestly speaking, dude. Like,
Okay.
just being real for a sec, it's really wishful thinking to think that the relations will improve at all. Like, if you think giving them a couple $1 billion is going to make them all of a sudden love us, I think you're the one that's naive in that case, man. I don't think giving them some money is going to make them love us or even be nice to us at that point. I still feel they're gonna have the same view that we're an arrogant government who completely screw with their country for years.
Okay. Well, I mean, I don't know. I guess I disagree. I feel like, I don't know, dude. Do you think that China's gonna go to war with us anytime soon, or India? I guess
No.
India is not a good example. Like,
Personally, if China or Russia goes to war with us, that's gonna be it. I mean, Russia and China don't have the military capability to deal with America, and they know that, so they don't want a war with America because it would lead to probably a very large amount of death. But the thing is, you can't stage a ground war against America. It just won't happen. America's Navy itself, the way America is geographically positioned in the world, it just wouldn't happen. You'd have to come through Canada if you'd have to do that. And that choke point there is so strong. There's no way anything could get through the American military power through that choke point.
okay, I was
and
kind
if you
of
want to try to
going.
come through,
I was kind of going a different route with that. I don't
Okay.
think that China wants to go to war with people because I think that China is doing really great economically. Like, China is a busting
Yo,
nation.
Killer X, if you really think that China has the military power equivalent to the U.S., you need to do some research.
wait,
Yes,
listen.
they have a very
Okay, don't
large
get
amount
time.
of...
Don't-
No, I want to call it this specific viewer. LOL, China doesn't have the military power with U.S. Okay, I didn't say with U.S., I said the same as the U.S. And yes, China does not have anywhere near the military capabilities that the U.S. has. If you actually do the research on how powerful the United States military is, you'd probably have your mind blown if you legitimately think that China could ever stage a war equivalent to that of the U.S. I mean, just being real here, dude. I mean, look into the military capabilities of the U.S. We have our Navy alone is just holy shit. It is so big. It's insane. Like, do the research. We have more carriers than any other country in the world combined. Period. Are the second biggest. Like, dude, just do some basic research. You'll find that out. It's just no. China could not. They may have more troops, technically speaking, but the era of land wars in the world is over. That's just not how it's gonna work.
Okay, so
Like the era of land wars is done. It's not gonna happen now. It's gonna be drones and shit like that. You're not gonna see fucking Stalingrad happen again. That's just not gonna happen. I mean, America, anywhere in America wants to fight, they're gonna immediately create a no-fly zone in that area and control the air in like hours. It's okay. The wars are no longer. The wars are now a game of logistics, and America is one of the best in moving logistics. They have the most, and they have the capability to move them, considering they have all these bases around the world. And they have all their allies that can do it. So no.
hey, that's why we have a strategic interest in the Middle East. Wow.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Yes, and in a perfect world that would be great, but it's not a perfect world.
Okay, so the point that I was getting at is I feel like if countries are doing well economically and they have a bright economic future ahead of them, I feel like the people of that country aren't interested in fucking going to war with everybody and doing crazy shit, right? It's kind of the path that I was looking at, right?
Okay, I'm not circle jerking America, Necro, just because I think that America's the best. I'm giving hard. These are just facts, dude. I mean, really, I'm not doing this because of the sake of, oh yeah, America, you know, that's not the case. It's a case of just facts, dude. Like, Google it. This isn't me stroking my country's dick like some blind patriot. I'm not like that. These are just the facts. This is how it is. Like, just Google it. I don't know why I'm arguing with Twitch chat. Oh my god, I'm wasting my life.
Where did
I'm
this
sorry, go
guy
on,
get?
Destiny.
No, I don't know.
Well, I'm reading poverty chat. Wow, that's a mean name. I mean, I could pull up Destiny chat, but they're even worse than you guys.
Damn.
They're just spamming America. Can we play a game? Yeah, wait, are you a Twitch streamer? Shouldn't you be playing a game right now?
Try to.
Yo, someone report him. He's not playing gameplay. It's against the rules. Oh, looks like your rich chat doesn't want me. I'm gonna go back to poverty chat. Anyway, do you have anything else to say or what?
I feel like the view that you have of the world puts us on a path for perpetual conflict, and I'm not interested in that. I would rather have countries build their economies up.
Yes. So you want to go with the naive path where everything works out perfectly in the end and everybody is happy and rainbows and sunshine, and that's not how the world is, though. I mean, I understand.
I think
the
I have
want
a
for
much
everything to
clearer
work out
view of how the world
perfectly.
works than you do. I think that your
Yes,
view of
says
how
the man who thinks that Iran will suddenly come to love us because we gave them a couple dollars, right?
So I think that economies largely control how countries work politically. You seem to have this viewpoint when you talk about naivety. You seem to have this viewpoint where you think that like leaders get together and they're like, okay, who are the good guys? Who are the bad guys? We're gonna fuck these dudes up because this is how we play Risk and all this shit, right? I'm pretty sure that if you have a country that is doing really well economically, right, you tend to want to continue on that path, and that building strong economies are the solution to a lot of the world's problems, right? When you look at countries that have all of these massive problems with them, like in the Middle East, you're generally not talking about countries that are very well built up, that have very strong economies, that have populations full of people that are content with their jobs, that are working well, right? So I feel like putting us on paths where we are building up countries economically, giving their people a country to love, giving their people jobs, giving their people things to do, puts them on a path where they are more interested in electing leaders for economic purpose than they are for electing leaders to throw them into random fucking wars with people.
I mean, these governments have shown 1,000 times to not really care what the general public's opinion is. I mean, I don't understand why all this. Why you think us giving them, why a country like us giving them money is all of a sudden going to change the entire political structure of the entire country in a matter of years. I mean, that just doesn't make much sense to me. I mean,
Iran used to be a very Iran used to be a very
keyword used to
yeah,
be.
but then didn't we help to overthrow their fucking leader because we didn't like the last
Yes,
dude
and that's why we need to stop with the regime change bullshit.
Okay, but now we stop now that we've already fucked it up and then walk away from it.
I voted for Gary Johnson, motherfucker. I was always against regime change. I never said I was for it. Where do you even get that?
Aleppo Johnson? Well, I'm just saying.
Oh my God, dude, no. Dude, oh my God. Are you serious? Okay, Aleppo, bullshit. No, I want to just get this on the record really quick, dude. The fucking Aleppo gaff was actually such a horseshit narrative by the media spun to make him look like an idiot. It's not even funny. If you actually watch the Chris Matthews Hardball MSNBC with Gary Johnson, he goes into detail so quickly about how all these international foreign relations, and Chris Matthews shushes him so quickly, dude. Oh no, I am triggered, chat. Dude, no. Like, this Aleppo gaff is
link.
such bullshit.
No. That's not true. He didn't.
Do you want the link to the MSNBC Hardball
I've
with
watched
Chris
it
Matthews?
before.
It's
You
like,
can link it to me again. He doesn't go into specifics
yes,
afterwards.
he does. He starts talking about the Kurds and the Turks, but then he shushes them almost.
Okay,
like
give me the link. We'll watch it on stream, okay?
You want to watch 20 minutes of MSNBC?
No, I just want like the 2-minute clip or whatever. Here,
dude, it's not a clip, dude. I watched the entire thing, and that's just something that stuck out to me. Like, I don't have, like, it's not a specific clip. It's just something to me that showed me that he does indeed know what he's talking about. It wasn't this thing that was, like, blasted on the news as, Gary Johnson knows what he's doing. It was more of a thing that stuck out to me as a person who was watching most of his appearances. It made me think, whoa, this guy may actually have a general grasp of what's going on, as opposed to the media spin that makes it think that, he doesn't know where this Aleppo place is.
Okay, link me to the interview, okay? Fuck it, dude. We're already this deep in. Go ahead, find it. What was it on MSNBC?
Yeah, MSNBC Chris Matthews Hardball. Let me see if I can find the actual link. I think it was some illegal YouTube thing or something. I don't know if you want to put that on stream. That was a thing. Let me see if I can find it. What? Oh, man.
Fuck. I'll watch the 3-minute clip first so I can refresh myself on it, okay? Hold on.
Yeah, go for it.
What would you do if you were elected? About
Johnson
Aleppo?
didn't know. Dude, if you actually watch the
Aleppo.
video, though, you would say, like, he answered the question after it was clarified.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to mute you for a second, okay? With 3 minutes,
yeah,
right?
go. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
What would you do if you were elected about Aleppo?
About
Aleppo.
And what is Aleppo?
You're kidding.
No.
Aleppo is in Syria. It's the epicenter of the refugee crisis.
Okay, got it.
Okay.
Well, with regard to Syria, I do think that it's a mess. I think that the only way that we deal with Syria is to join hands with Russia to diplomatically bring that at an end. But when we've aligned ourselves with, when we've supported the opposition, the Free Syrian Army is also coupled with the Islamists. and then the fact that we're also supporting the Kurds, and this is it's just a mess. And that this is the result of regime change that we end up supporting. And inevitably, these regime changes have led to a less safe world.
So an alliance with Russia is the solution to Syria. Do you think Vladimir Putin and Russia are a good and reliable partner?
Well, I think diplomatically that has to be the solution, is joining hands with Russia to bring this civil war to an end.
Joe.
So Aleppo is the center of a lot of people's concerns across the planet about the terrible humanitarian crisis that's unfolding not only in Syria but especially in Aleppo. You asked, what is Aleppo? Do you really think that foreign policy is so insignificant that somebody running for president of the United States shouldn't even know what Aleppo is, where Aleppo is, why Aleppo is so important?
Well, no, I do understand Aleppo, and I understand the crisis that is going on. But when we involve ourselves militarily, when we involve ourselves in these humanitarian issues, we end up with a situation that in most cases is not better, and in many cases ends up being worse. And we find ourselves always, politicians are up against the wall and ask what to do about these things. And this is why we end up committing military force in areas that, like I say, at the end of the day, have an unintended consequence of making things worse.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC.
Okay. So I'm pretty sure Aleppo Johnson did not know what Aleppo was.
Dude, did you watch the interview? He clearly talks about it. Was a.
I don't care about an interview he gives after he's already fucking failed the question and knows he's gonna be asked.
The original Aleppo interview.
Wait, so you're telling me there was an original Aleppo interview and he fucked up the Aleppo thing after the original Aleppo interview? Because I'm just looking at the MSNBC Morning Joe segment. You're telling me that
that's what I'm speaking of. The original where the original Aleppo gaffe happened.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, he answers the question in perfect, fine detail afterwards.
He doesn't answer in detail. He gives the standard libertarian answer of, well, we shouldn't be involved in any regime change. And
regime change,
yeah, and we need to, you know, pull out immediately. Like, it's like the standard libertarian answer to every single conflict that's ever occurred.
Yes, because we shouldn't be fucking with other countries.
Okay, but you're trying to say that he answered in perfect fucking detail when this guy couldn't even point out the region.
I mean, it was a fine answer.
It wasn't. It was standard libertarian. Any internet libertarian could have given that answer as the question.
Under the libertarian.
Okay, but you're trying to say that he gave this.
You're
trying to say that he gave this nuanced, perfect answer, when in reality he gave like the most vague.
In my opinion, it was a fine. Okay, in my opinion, it was a fine answer. You may think it's subpar, but hey, that's like your opinion.
No, it is not my opinion. It is objective fact that he gave a vague.
Yes, it is objective fact that the libertarian philosophy is shit. It is objective destiny fact.
He's confirmed it. That's not what I said. No, that's not what I said.
That is what you said. He said he gave the usual libertarian.
That straw man is taking a real pounding over there. Are you done? You want to hit on it a little bit more? Oof. Okay, your original claim was that Aleppo Johnson gave a very well thought out and detailed answer in regards to the Syrian conflict. My rebuttal was that he didn't give a very well thought out or detailed answer. He gave the standard libertarian response to every single foreign affair ever. And now you're trying to say that I'm attacking the entire libertarian platform.
I was saying the answer was fine. You're saying it's subpar.
Yes, it was. I'm saying that the answer
think it was because that's how the libertarian philosophy is. You don't when you don't want to when your philosophy is I don't want to mess with other countries and I don't want to be involved over there. Then your answer is going to be as simple as we pull
I'm not
out.
saying,
there's nothing to it.
Okay, that's fine.
Subpar.
Well,
that just means it's following a different guideline than the Republicans and the Democrats that have these insanely complex ideas of what they want to do with all this bullshit.
Yeah, but the problem is the Middle East is a complex area, dog.
And that's fine. That's fine. I'm not disagreeing. What I'm saying is just because the fundamental core that he bases ideas off is a little bit more simple in that regard as other parties doesn't make his answer subpar.
No, his answer is subpar because he probably doesn't understand any of the shit that's fucking going on over there. It's not because his philosophy is bad.
You're really telling me that because he was asked a foreign policy question in the middle of domestic policy questions, then he was thinking it maybe in the mindset of like an abbreviation or literally anything. The point is he was asked a foreign policy question, which was clearly a gotcha question in the middle of a bunch of domestic policy questions. You think
gotcha? You don't know what the most war-torn region in all of fucking Syria is. Ha! Fucking
he
gotcha.
Has a brain fart. Everybody has those, dude. You're going way too hard on this guy for forgetting the name.
This would be like some dude
when he knew immediately after once he was clarified.
This is like some guy answering a question on economics, and then the dude is like, "What do you think about what happened in Tiananmen Square?" And the guy is like, "What do you mean, the shape?" I don't know what to say, Doc. If you watch this, you can tell by watching him that he has no fucking idea what the guy's talking about until he completely finishes elaborating. Okay, go to 12 seconds and let's watch together.
I've watched it. I have. I know the face.
Go to 12 seconds. Go to 12. Now let's watch together. I want to watch together.
Because it was the day that fucking his entire campaign died. Like every time I close my eyes, I see that shit happening.
I want to watch. No. Let's watch. Go to 12 seconds. I want to watch. Let's watch it unfold before our eyes. Go to 12 seconds. Okay.
All right. Fine.
Are you ready?
No, I'm fucking loading it, dude.
It's the...
All right, whenever you're ready.
Okay, so now let me tell you what would happen if he knew what the guy was talking about. The millisecond this guy starts to describe it, if Aleppo Johnson knew what he was talking about, the millisecond he starts to be like, "Oh, I'm sorry, my bad. Of course, the region in northwest Syria."
Because being asked a bunch of domestic policy questions, then getting hit with a random foreign policy question when this tone's already been set to be thinking in domestic policy view, totally doesn't mean that he can't have a brain fart at all.
I mean,
absolutely not. What about when Clinton didn't know where Mosul was or anything like that? What about that?
Where did Clinton didn't know where Mosul was?
In the fucking debate, dude, in like the second or third debate.
Dog.
Did you not? Wait, it's not the same as for Clinton? Is that what
I watched the debate. Okay, Ryan Dawson guy tried to nail me on this point. She brought up the thing that she said was that Mosul is near the northern border of Iraq. Okay, which is technically not correct. It's 50 miles from the border.
So then she was wrong.
It's 50 miles from the border.
But she was wrong.
Firstly, it's 50 miles from the border.
Everybody has brain farts,
Firstly, it's 50 miles from the border of the country of Iraq. Secondly, it's even closer to the border that makes up what is unofficially recognized as Kurdistan. Okay? So I don't think that's on the same tier of what is Aleppo.
When you're thinking in the scope of domestic policy questions, it's perfectly reasonable to think Aleppo.
Okay, go to 12. Let me know when you have 12 seconds so we can watch. Okay, you ready?
Been here.
All right,
yes.
3, 2, 1, play.
It's the epicenter of the refugee crisis.
Okay, got it.
Even when he says epicenter, he has no idea. And then after he says refugee crisis, he's like, "Oh yeah, of course," and then dives into a very vague answer on what to do with Syria.
Because he was waiting for Joe to finish his thought.
Yeah, because he had no fucking idea what he was talking. Exactly.
It totally doesn't mean that he was being patient or anything, or giving him a chance to finish talking. No, it means he's an idiot who knows nothing. He doesn't know anything about foreign policy. He's a total jabroni who knows zilch. He is just
with regard to Syria.
He is on par with Forrest Gump, isn't he? Is that
he doesn't even talk about Aleppo afterwards. He's like, he has to broaden it to all of Syria because he still probably doesn't.
His answer doesn't involve anything with Aleppo. His answer for anything that has to do with regime changes, let's not do it. Let's not be there.
Okay, listen.
That's his answer. That's the way.
I agree. Listen, I agree with what you say. I agree with what you're saying. So then can we both, so we both agree on that. Can we both agree then that his answer was not a beautiful, perfect answer, that it had like a ton of nuance about what to do in the Middle East?
There is no such thing as a perfect, beautiful answer.
You started off by saying that he went into a very good, detailed answer, showing that he had knowledge of the region afterwards. Showing that he had knowledge of the region afterwards. This isn't what happened though. He gave a vague.
There is a difference between. There is a difference between a nice answer and an answer that I like and a perfect answer. I never claimed that he had a perfect answer.
Okay.
I said he had an answer
do you think that his answer showcased a thorough understanding of what's going on in the Middle East?
I feel like it showcased a thorough understanding of what his platform is, which is all he really needs to know. If his platform is that, then that's all he needs to know specifics of his platform and how he would do it.
So he doesn't need to know any of the specific dealings with what's going on in the Middle East.
Dude, okay, if you're really trying to tell me that just because he didn't know exactly what to say when asked the simple question of what would you do about Aleppo? I mean, if you really think he knows absolutely zilch about what's going on there, nothing at all. I mean, come on, like.
Can you link me an interview? Ridiculous. Can you link me an interview where Aleppo Johnson goes into good detail about what he would do with the Middle East? Does he have one of those?
You can watch MSNBC Hardball. He goes into it a little bit there.
Okay, hardball.
I mean, dude, the media gave him absolutely. It's like a 20-minute thing. The media gave him like absolutely zero coverage. You didn't get a chance to get his thoughts on anything without being usually I mean, the only reason he even got so much coverage in the beginning as it is because they thought he would take votes away from Clinton. And then when it came out that he's taking more votes away from Clinton and he's not affecting Trump at all, they immediately stopped giving coverage when they started all these baseless attack ads.
Okay, what about?
There's a reason why he was getting things like town halls. He was getting things like hardballs. He was getting like all these interviews on major news stations. It's because they thought he would pull support away from Clinton or from Trump. When in reality, he pulled it away from Clinton more. And then you're telling me that all of a sudden, there's no reason why he just got cut, period. Why he no longer had all these he no longer had all these events. He no longer had all this coverage. It was only baseless attack stuff. It was only hit pieces. That's all he got after a certain point. Because they saw the Clinton camp saw. And if you're trying to tell me that the Clinton camp actually has no influence over the media, then you're insane. Like it's obvious. Once it was known that he wasn't going to pull anything from Trump, they cut him out, and he had no chance to explain any of his views. He was under constant attack. He had to play on defensive 24/7 because the media would not stop hitting him for any little thing he did.
Okay,
but they give Clinton the freaking.
What about?
Are you seriously still streaming a black screen, dude?
Yeah. What about when Aleppo Johnson couldn't name a world leader at the town hall?
He said he didn't know a world leader that he admired, not that he didn't know a world leader, period. Did you even watch the hardball?
I did.
He says, but then you wouldn't try to bring up unless you're trying to trigger me specifically.
I'm not trying to trigger you.
Yeah,
Dog, he had a blunder. He had a blunder.
Oh my God, he couldn't think of a world leader that he admired.
He couldn't spitball anybody whatsoever.
He didn't want to. Okay, yeah, fuck him for not wanting to lie and give a bullshit answer that he didn't believe in, right? Because yeah, screw him. He needs to give the normal politician answer of, oh yeah, Angela Merkel. Yeah, like we'll fucking
okay.
go all
Let
day.
me frame this in my area of expertise as a partially college-educated musician. If a professor is interviewing you to enter like a master's program in performance or some shit, or a teacher, and they're asking you the question, who is your favorite saxophone player of all time? And let's say that you hate all saxophone players, okay? The answer you give wouldn't be, I can't think of anybody that I like, right? You would say your answer would be more nuanced than that because every question is an example for you to demonstrate your knowledge.
But
so he would say something like,
favorite world leader. The question was, what is a world leader that you admire?
Sure. And if he didn't have, listen, I'm telling you how I'm telling you how an intelligent person answers the question, okay? An intelligent person would say something like, while I don't agree with all the views of this person, I admire Trudeau's ability to do this. And I don't agree with this position. While I don't admire everything about Merkel, Merkel's ability to do this is something that I respect, right? I don't like that. That's okay. Rather than saying, I can't think of anybody.
I honestly feel like if you don't admire any world leaders, the answer of I don't admire anybody is a perfectly reasonable.
But that's not the answer he gave.
He literally said, I can't think of anybody. Yeah, no, I'm not going to.
He said, I can't think of anybody. I can't think of anybody I admire.
Yo, I agree. Fucking Gary fucked that up completely, saying, I'm having an Aleppo.
Wait, but you just said he gave a perfect answer.
I never said he gave a perfect answer.
You said he gave a good answer. You said it was fine that he didn't.
Good is not perfect, you tard.
Okay, so, but now you said, was it a good answer or did he screw it up?
Okay, we're talking about two separate interviews here. I thought the Aleppo answer was fine. Now,
no, I'm talking about the no world leader answer.
Okay, I think he fucked that up pretty hard by
saying why did you say originally the reason why he said that is because there's nobody that he looked up to? Not
because that's what it was. The reason he gave the answer of I can't think of anybody is because he just doesn't admire anybody. He doesn't have a world leader that he admires. I think the way he went about it afterwards, saying, I think I'm having an Aleppo moment here, is where he fucked it up. By bringing up Aleppo again, he's just reminding people of his blunders, and it caused a big issue, and that's why he was never able to get out in front of it, and why his campaign basically died the day the Aleppo incident happened, because he was so focused on being this truthful politician and, apologizing endlessly for it, that by the time he needed to, actually sit down and start showing, hey, I can do it, it was too late. The media was already hitting him too hard, and everybody already had this idea that he was a complete idiot.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna mute you for like a minute. I just want to listen to this real fast, okay?
Yeah, go for it.
I'll link you what I'm listening to. Here you go.
Who's your favorite foreign leader?
Who's my favorite?
Just name anywhere in the country, any one of the continents, any country. Name one foreign leader that you respect and look up to. Anybody.
Mine was Shimon Peres.
No, okay, I'm talking about living. Go ahead. You got to do this. Anywhere, any continent. Canada, Mexico, Europe, over there, Asia, South America, Africa. Name a foreign leader that you respect.
I guess I'm having an Aleppo moment in the former president
But I'm giving
of Mexico.
you the whole world.
I know.
Anybody in the world you like. Anybody. Pick any leader.
The former president of Mexico.
Which one?
I'm having a brain.
Well, name anybody.
Fox.
Okay, who's your favorite foreign leader? Get him off the hook. Name a foreign leader you respect.
He was terrific.
Any foreign leader?
Merkel.
Okay, Merkel. Okay, fine. Save yourself. Can't argue with that. Anyway, let's go. Who's your favorite president in history? Favorite most libertarian?
Jefferson.
Okay, so you
first libertarian.
So what do you think of the Democrats getting rid of their Jefferson Jackson Day dinner because they didn't?
I don't know, man. I felt like he was about to go fucking like full on Silence of the Lambs on the stage there. He looked like he was about to fucking lose it, dog.
Who, Gary?
Yeah. Even when he tried to bring up
probably.
former president of Mexico, he didn't know the fucking name until the guy next to him.
That's why I was saying, I feel like I even said specifically, I feel like he fucked it up. I feel like a simple answer would have been, I don't admire anybody.
You really think that was the answer? You think it was that he didn't admire anybody rather than he just was completely, totally unprepared for the question? You don't think there's a single leader around the entire world?
He didn't. I feel like expecting him to know literally every single foreign leader in the entire world at the drop of a hat is kind of pushing.
Or any foreign leader around the world, or any foreign leader.
I feel like, dude, he's not. I feel like he shouldn't have to answer a question with a lie if he doesn't agree that ex-foreign leader is someone who he admires.
So you think that he knows every leader around the world, and he knows that none of them are respectable or admirable? None of them. There's not a single world leader that he would look up to right now. Isn't this guy a huge libertarian? Why not the leader of fucking whoever the prime minister, whatever fucking Switzerland is? I don't know who he is, but why not that dude?
Because Switzerland isn't fully libertarian. They have conscription.
Don't they have
which
literally
is completely against
yeah, but don't they literally have
100%.
like direct democracy fucking memes, and they're like the biggest like capitalist memers in the fucking
in
world?
my honest opinion, like I feel like any libertarian would pretty much rule out Switzerland as something they admire because of conscription. Period. That's like one of the biggest. Like you have to go to the military. That's legitimately like one of the biggest threats on liberty in general. Is you have to go to the military and you have to fight for your country no matter what.
So he couldn't admire any world leader, even though he disagrees with him a little bit. If he doesn't
admire, I mean, yo, dude, I mean, that's his opinion. If he doesn't want to admire a world leader, he shouldn't have to, and he shouldn't have to lie if he gets the answer. Now, the thing is, he got pressured into giving an answer, and then he tried at the drop of a hat to name some random person after already, giving an answer and being told it wasn't good enough. I mean, he was like, "Oh, well, I guess," like, and I agree. That's where he fucked up. He should have at least had some sort of like, he should have at least known somebody to like backfall on. But at the same time, it's like,
if that's the thing that pressures you as a president, is knowing any other.
Dude, when you've been attacked on the media have you ever been attacked relentlessly by the media for months?
No,
like,
I've never had. It's not like I pull on people to fucking debate like 50,000 times a month.
That's not the same, dude. Being a Twitch streamer and being a presidential candidate who gets shit on nationally.
Listen, dude, I'm not gonna lie.
Day.
I've probably had more fucking national coverage than Aleppo Johnson, dog. Come on, dude. This guy has fucked up every opportunity he has had to present himself.
He never had an opportunity. The minute he started gaining ground, like I've already went into detail on, the media shut him out and did nothing but hit pieces on him.
Okay, how has he been attacked? How could he be attacked by the media and ignored by the media at the same time? Which one is it?
Okay. He would. Okay. He was ignored by the media for a while,
and then he was
given
fucked up.
Then he was given media coverage, which he did okay. And the second town hall was fine. That was great. Him and Bill Weld did amazing on that. But then after they saw he wasn't polling from Trump, he was polling from Clinton, not Trump. They cut him out and started polling. They cut him out. They didn't give him specifically any airtime, meaning they ignored him as a person. They didn't let him explain his views. They didn't let him go on to defend himself. They just ignored him. However, they kept running hit pieces about him on the website, on their blogs.
What other hit pieces did they run about Aleppo Johnson?
Well, they ran a hit piece about how he like stuck out his tongue and shit, and they made it a whole huge deal as if like he was a super weird guy who was like doing a bunch of random crazy shit, and he was no way fit to be president because of that. So there's another, it was just the same recycled hit pieces every time he did something.
Okay, hold on, wait a second. Shit. I'm gonna watch this. Okay, let me see.
Go for it.
All right, I'll be right back. 30
How
seconds.
are these all fucking conspiracy theories?
Stage that you could pull even with Trump and Clinton in these polls?
I do, and it wouldn't have anything to do with my debate performance either. It would just be that people would recognize that there's another choice, and that there would be an examination of me and Bill Weld as who we are and what we've done, and not based on that. I think I could stand up there for the whole debate and not say anything, and emerge as a leader.
He really did that?
Dude.
Yes, it was weird. I know. Yeah.
Why would
but
you
the thing,
do
I
that?
don't think it disqualifies. Like I said in the fucking Twitch chat, I don't think it disqualifies him for being president. When
It doesn't, but if you have limited airtime, you've got limited time to make your points. Why would you use this incredibly precious media time you're getting to act like a fucking retard? I don't understand. Why is this
like
a good
I said,
idea?
Yes, I'm not disagreeing with you. I already said he messed up big time in a lot of points. I've never said.
But you're talking about like hit pieces, like they're going out of their way to fuck. But I mean, it seems like
I mean, no, they do. They literally ran that thing like the entirety of the election cycle. Like they just kept bringing it up.
I don't remember them bringing this up anywhere near as much as the Aleppo
Because
moment.
were you a Johnson supporter? Were you like actively looking for shit like him? No, you probably were in your camp and you were doing that, or you weren't voting. Period. If you were in that.
No,
camp.
I just watched it like in general. Like I most of the coverage, obviously.
No, like I said, it was mostly in blog hits. It was mostly in
Who
articles.
the fuck cares about fucking blog hits, dude?
It was in articles, like online articles, not just blogs, online articles.
Why you didn't?
Just because they didn't run it on like the specific TV network doesn't mean they didn't run hit pieces. There were a ton of hit pieces that were unrightfully being thrown out against him. To say that the media wasn't biased. To say that the media wasn't biased against anybody this election cycle is damn near retarded. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
I agree, but you're trying to say that the media being biased excuses a candidate fucking things up really hardcore. Like he fucked up.
I've never said he didn't fuck things up. What I'm saying is
like, and it's strange that you take. Are you a libertarian?
I would say I'm more no party affiliate.
Okay, yeah, because I was going to say it would be really strange for you to have that position because it seemed to me in reading the libertarian subreddits that a lot of libertarians were really upset because this was their one moment to put forth a good candidate, and a lot of them fucking hated Aleppo Johnson. They
yeah,
just
because
hated
a lot of libertarians are fucking idiots who are like ANCAPs that think libertarianism means ANCAP. That's not what libertarianism is. Not an anarchist. It's not. They're not the same thing. Gary Johnson's a perfectly fine libertarian. He's a moderate libertarian. He's more of like a minarchist than he is an anarchist, and that's fine. That's fucking libertarianism is not equate to anarchism. That's just some bullshit strawman that people throw up to try to say, oh, libertarianism is stupid and it's totally never gonna happen. It's dumb and it's just this idiotic thing that only idiots believe in. Like Gary Johnson was a perfectly fine libertarian. The only people bitching about Gary Johnson were probably the ANCAPs, and they're not the majority of the libertarians. They're the very
but
loud,
I mean, the Libertarian
obnoxious
Party
minority.
has some pretty insane, right? When you talk about like fucking like end the Fed and go back to the gold standard and shit, like that's kind of those are Libertarian Party memes, right? Like.
Yeah.
Oh, but wait, you agree with those positions?
No, I was agreeing that those are some Libertarian Party memes.
Okay. Here, did you ever see this interview?
Let me see. Which one are we talking about?
The Guardian one where he goes like
This is
the one where he transforms into Bilbo.
Yeah, you want to know what I find funny about that is that like less than a week later, NPR did a radio show where they talked about why presidents it was like a Moneyball or whatever NPR thing, and they had like a bunch of these economic. I heard the entire thing, and they talked about why why presidents always have really shitty economic policies that really don't do anything. It's because if you actually got down to the brass tacks and told the American people what you would need to do, they would be really pissed off. Like, yeah, we need to cut the cut corporate tax and shit. Like people would go like people do not like that idea. Like a lot of people, that's just the fact of the reality is a lot of people don't like what we need to do, and they get started. A lot of Gary Johnson's economic views were actually what they agreed with and what they said we needed to do. So I mean, yeah, I can kind of see why when Gary Johnson's getting baselessly attacked again by some bullshit no-name reporter, I could see why he'd get kind of pissy. Just like how when he was in the Twitter thing during the first debate when he was getting like hit, oh, should we just drop out then? And he got all mad and started talking about how this is bullshit. I think they attacked him over the silliest, stupidest shit, and stupid teenagers on the internet just fucking ran with it. And he was a fucking 2-term governor, really loved in New Mexico, and all of that doesn't matter. All that matters is that he made a couple gaffes and that he got a little mad when baselessly attacked for months on end for no reason. That's the only thing people have on him, and that they'll just keep memeing that to death until it's over. It's just honestly insulting to somebody who worked so hard. I mean, really, I'm all for disagreeing with people, but at least base your disagreements on actual real life things, not these bullshit hit pieces that mean absolutely nothing other than he's a little weird or he may have done a couple odd things that got blown out of proportion by the media. I mean, the media always blows shit like that out of proportion, people they don't agree with. I mean, what was that one dude who was running for president that did like that big yes scream and they completely destroyed his campaign over for no reason because he got a little happy? I mean, it's ridiculous.
For which guy? What?
It was like I don't know his name. It was like the chat might be able to explain. Like it was some old it was one of the older like early 2000s presidential candidates. He was at like a rally and he yelled like yeah or something really loud and really long.
And
Oh, is this Howard Dean?
I think I don't know his name, but it was a dude that screamed like, yeah, Howard. Yeah, chat saying Howard Dean, so I assume that's who it is. I mean, they destroyed his campaign over that, dude.
I remember
like,
that.
Yeah, like they
The
destroyed his
Dean
campaign
scream.
over it. Yeah, they did Dean scream. But yeah, I mean, they destroyed his entire campaign over that. I just think it's kind of dumb to, to like roll with this. Like, oh yeah, he made a couple gaffes, therefore he's completely inept. Dude, he's completely inept to be president. He should absolutely be nowhere near the White House when you got someone like Hillary running, who has no idea what C means, who didn't even know how to keep an email shit, who was like giving like classified material to her fucking maid. I mean, it just seems kind of like a double standard. It's like, oh yeah, Hillary Clinton's a perfectly fine presidential candidate who's done no wrong, but Gary Johnson, that guy's a fucking weirdo. It just seems like, it just seems kind of shitty.
Oh, wait, hold on. I gotta listen to another thing real fast. Okay, can you give me a second?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, here you go. Somebody linked me a thing. Here, I'm pasting it to you, okay? Whew.
Yeah. The land is now owned by the land is now owned by the strongest military known to the world in the history of mankind. You're not getting it back. That's just, like, you may as well just give up on that. Like, it's like the thing with blacks, black people still wanting repercussions or whatever, like payment for like being oppressed for so long. It's like, dude, that was 300 years ago. None of our ancestors, like, dude, none of us are for that. The land.
All right, I'm sorry. So everybody's thinking me the meme. I had to watch it.
Yeah, I don't really get, like, yeah, I stand by that. I think that those types of I think that paying that shit back so long after is just kind of stupid.
Yeah, no, I don't actually disagree.
Yeah.
I wanted to meme on you, but reparations are pretty fucking retarded. They're reparations, not repercussions. So that makes you.
Yeah, sorry, yeah.
300 years is probably reaching a little bit. I'm not quite sure.
Probably, yeah. I was just talking, I was just talking to my chat. I wasn't like trying to be scientifically accurate or anything.
Sure. Okay, well.
Yes, chat. Yes, I was talking to my chat, and I wasn't trying to be historically accurate. Sue me, please. Please don't. I don't have a lot of money. Oh man, I remember when I made that tweet saying, "Oh, maybe people don't want to come on your stream and argue because they'll get constantly harassed by your chat." And you said, "No, half my chat hates my politics." Dude, in the time that I've gotten TeamSpeak,
why are
messages
you
other people fucking combing through my stream, like,
wait, why are you watching
like,
chat? Why are you watching chat?
Because I love chat. Chat's fucking hilarious. They're just dumb sometimes. Yeah, I got people fucking in my Reddit fucking randomly commenting on shit like.
Yo, report that shit, dude. That's fucked up.
What? No, I don't give a shit about that. I'm just saying, like, yeah, this shit happens.
Yeah, no, I don't deny it. I think you should report them, dude. Fuck them up. I don't encourage that shit.
I think
you should, dude. I report that shit all the time. If people follow me around. Oh, actually, I'm glad you reminded me because somebody tweeted a mean picture of me earlier. And I'm verified, so I get people banned when I report. I'm gonna go do that right now. Actually, thanks for reminding me. You can talk to my chat for a second.
I'm not acting victimized. I'm just saying, dude.
Oof, I found it.
Found what? Oh, the picture?
Yeah.
Yo, I'm not claiming to be a victim. Like, I'm not fucking... I was just making my point. I talked about this specific thing, and then, like, it's happening right now to me because, I mean, I'm not saying it's bad. I don't give a shit. I'm not gonna fucking report anybody. I'm not a bitch. It's just, I'm just saying it happens. Like, fucking look through my stream all you want. I don't give a shit, man. Like, please, fucking give me free views. I don't fucking care, dude. If I cared, I wouldn't stream. If I actually gave a shit, I wouldn't stream on Twitch. Like, when you stream on Twitch, you realize people are gonna be fucking idiots, and that's just how it works out. Like, if you go into it without accepting that, you're fucking tired. Oh, I am a bitch. Oh, okay. Yeah, you got me good, man. Yo, you really showed me what for. I'm a whiny bitch. Yo, I'm done reading fucking rich people chat. Get out of here, fat cats. I'm going back to pleb chat. You sure do sound like a bitch? Would you like to explain how I sound like a bitch? I'm genuinely curious. I feel like I've taken this all pretty well considering. I mean, I got fucking ton of you guys just not even really providing any counter arguments. Y'all are just kind of spamming your memes and link stream, dude. I've replied to you like 50 times. My stream is fucking terrible. Why would you want to watch it? My stream is legitimately.
Why do you play Heroes? I'm just curious. Over like Dota or League.
I just find Heroes more fun, honestly.
Gotcha. I don't think it's a horrible game. So
yeah, I don't know. I have friends who play it, so it's just kind of something we play. I have absolutely no knowledge of Worlds and only read Wikipedia articles. Oh,
I mean, I get most of my info from Wiki articles, so don't feel bad. It's okay.
Oh my gosh.
Good thing there's a Wikipedia article in Aleppo though. So
want to play HOTS with me? Yeah, sure. Fucking, I don't care. Not really. I mean, what? Why do I have? Oh yeah, that's. Chat something I can't debate looking at chat. What? No, I look at chat because I like watching the memes, dude. I don't fucking give a shit whether you're mean or nice to me. I legitimately don't give a fuck. Can you do a haha countdown for us? I don't know what that is.
Don't worry about it. Okay, listen. I am going to play Final Fantasy 15. I appreciate the conversation. I see where you're coming from. Now Chad is going to bully the fuck out of you, though, because you called him out. But listen, I think...
I don't care. I'm used to it.
Problems. All right. I love you, dude. I disagree with pretty much everything you said. But at the end of the day, I love you as a person. Okay, so be safe. Baby. I'll see you later. Bye.
Bye, dude.
Okay, one more meme.
Now, because everyone's fucking attacking. I fucking hate Twitter, and I hate people, and I hate the internet right now, because everyone's fucking attacking me. Look, because right now, people are going to be watching going, look at this fucking faggot with his fucking glasses on that he doesn't need. I don't need these glasses, by the way. I can fucking see perfectly goddamn fucking fine, but I wear them because I goddamn fucking will. And on top of that, I started vaping. Not because I need to, or I was a smoker. I fucking vape because I think it's fucking cool. What are you going to do about it, buddy? You going to sue me? You going to fuck with me? What are you going to do? Are you mad? You going to call me out? You going to hate on me even more? Well, guess what? I fucking vape. Shit's alright. It's okay. I like the taste of it. Do I feel cool? Yeah, I fucking do. What are you gonna do about it, buddy? People out there fucking mad, eh? Start Karen hating. What the fuck? Can we not live in a fucking world where people just don't hate me for, yeah, at least I got a balls to admit I like vaping. At least I got a balls to admit I like wearing glasses. I got balls to admit, bro. You ain't got balls to shit. Fucking wankers on.
Okay. Destiny, I'm into it. Can I not? Oh. God damn it. We're gonna do a 2-minute meme. 2-minute meme. Ready? Oh, fuck.
Hey, what's up?
All right, what's up, my favorite memer? Okay.
I know you are, dude. The more you talk to me, the more you're gonna like me.
I can't possibly believe that you're gonna come out defending this position, but we'll see. Okay. So let me state my argument very clearly. My thesis or whatever. Okay. For the 2007-2008 financial collapse, okay, was one of the worst things that has happened in the history of world economies. Massive, far-reaching economies all across the world were impacted by this. When it was going on, I remember people were talking about how we were going to be impacted for over a decade, that it was worse than the Great Depression, that everything was going to be fucked in the United States for so long. And it seemed like pretty much like fucking 4 or 5 years later, we had pretty much, now I don't want to use the term completely recovered, because I know that some indicators, like some things like median wages and whatnot, are still like not where they should be. But for the most part, we've kind of, I don't think people are feeling the fucking pain of the housing crisis. That was my original contention. And now, go ahead.
Well, I'll say pretty far right off the bat, you're kind of moving those goalposts pretty far back.
Okay,
by saying,
what was my original?
For 10 years, like.
But how old are you now? Hold on, just curious. I'm not trying to strawman.
I'm 25.
Okay, 20. Okay, yeah, okay. So we're on the same. But I'm 27. At the time of the housing market collapse, do you disagree that people were giving these catastrophic forecasts into how the economics of the world would play out. Do you disagree with that? Maybe that's where our disagreement comes from, because I remember it around the time, also because I was working at the casino when they cut our 401ks and all of our pensions and a ton of our benefits and removed almost all of our PTO and shit as a result of these pressures that were happening. I remember that people were giving the biggest doom and gloom forecasts in ever. Like this was literally going to be worse than the Great Depression, that everything was going to be fucked for so long, right? That's what I remember. Was it not the same for you, or do you disagree with that?
Worse than the Great Depression is pure hyperbole. Obviously, it was a bad recession for sure, and I don't disagree with that. But getting back to your point where you said it was a relatively quick bounce back, and I think it doesn't matter what metrics you really look at. I mean, do you know how a recession is typically actually defined in economics?
After it
varies.
happens?
It varies a little bit. But do you know what a recession actually is economically?
Oh, the actual definition? Nope.
Yeah. So a recession is basically 2 to 3 quarters, depending on how it's defined, of consecutive negative GDP growth. So negative economic growth.
Gotcha.
And the reason recessions are so bad is because we want the economy to grow. If the economy is not growing, then it's basically a waste of time. We've wasted progress, basically. And so that's basically why recessions are so bad. And the metric by which we gauge when we're out of a recession is when economic growth actually picks back up again. And that simply hasn't happened through the recovery. And that's even getting the median wages. Yeah, you're right. The median wages have been pretty bad. The unemployment rate was pretty bad. But not even that. But President Obama is the first president since Herbert Hoover to not see 3% annual growth in his presidency across 8 years. That's quite an accomplishment. Now, the extent to which Obama gets blamed for that, you can debate that all you want. But the fact that we've had such a huge stretch of period where we haven't had 3% annual economic growth, you can't call that a quick bounce back. It's been anything but that.
Okay, so you're the economy meme. Isn't a really commonly put forth thing right now in economics, or an idea that's being discussed a lot, the idea that growth that the United States had seen in its rise is unlikely to ever happen again? The idea that we have to accept that the country has to some extent topped out, and that you're not going to be seeing these massive GDP growths year after year after year after year after year? Isn't that kind of a thing that a lot of people are theorizing, that we were approaching kind of like this slope off where we're only going to grow so much because there's only so much more you can grow once you're a developed nation?
Yeah, and I can definitely add a lot to that and clarify what that theory is. And
Sure.
I do agree with the theory. So basically the theory is when you have an economy that's not fully developed, like take China, for example.
Or India. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, we're India. They can achieve economic growth through capital accumulation. They build factories, they get heavy machinery, and they get automation, and it just explodes their GDP. And that's why you see such miraculous growth. And what tends to happen is you've heard of the idea of diminishing marginal utility, right?
The more you add to something, the less utility you get out of it.
Right. Not the less utility you get, but the less marginal utility you get. So you still get more utility, but you get a lower margin than you got before. But anyway, there's a similar
Wait. Just so that I fully understand this concept. So you're talking about, like, let's say you give $10 to somebody, they turn around and they take that $10 and they make $20 with it. You give them another $10 and they take that around and they only make $5 with it when you give them 10 more on top. Is that diminishing marginal utility?
Kind of. The idea would be that the second $10 gives them less utility, not in total, but that's why they call it marginal utility. So just say, to throw a random number at it, say $10 gives me 100 utils. Well, maybe another $10 only gives me 95 utils.
Yeah, okay.
That's basically it. Gotcha. But anyway, the whole idea with that argument is that there's also a similar diminishing marginal productivity with capital. You can't achieve unlimited economic growth simply by accumulating capital. Eventually, the return on capital actually enters a parity with the interest rate. And at that point, it doesn't make sense to invest in capital because the return on capital is equivalent to the interest rate. And that's called the steady state. And that's where developed economies like the US is. So that's true. That is kind of like the miracle growth is totally off the table. It's not going to happen. We're not going to get 11% growth just through capital accumulation. But the other part, and the part of economic growth that is super important for developed economies, and it's the reason why China still has a much larger way to come before it matches the US, is that the other source of economic growth, apart from capital accumulation, is actually increases in worker productivity. And those increases in worker productivity are driven by technology innovations primarily, as well as things like education. So yeah, there is an idea of like maybe we'll never get massive economic growth. And I agree with that to a certain extent. However, I will say that 3% economic growth is the historical average. So I wouldn't say that's miracle growth. Miracle
But doesn't
growth
that
is
historical average take into account when we were still developing and booming as a nation? Like, I guess like if we can discuss like I'm hoping that this is good information here, but so like bring up this graph and look and set it to the maximum time horizon.
All right, max time horizon. Yeah.
Yeah. So like even if you look back during the dot-com bubble was like around 2000 2001 when it finally popped, right? Right, like even when you look at the growth leading up to that, like that was a period, that was like an inflationary period in terms of economic growth, right? Like that wasn't sustainable. Even that wasn't like massively booming, like 10% growth, year after year after year, even though that was, involved the formation of a bubble that deflated, and you see the effects of that, right, in 2001 and onward, right? It seems like even if in periods of unsustainable growth, we're barely sustaining, this 5% average, is it really realistic to think that like, 2 or 3% is something that we can carry on forever? Like, where does the 3% number come from? I'm curious.
So the 3% number comes from its historical average, and I say that I know you're saying that average tends to be folded into
into periods of insane growth.
But when you're gauging the speed at which we exit from a recession, if you look at even during the Great Depression, we had like a 3-4 year stretch after the Great Depression where we didn't hit 3% growth, and during the early 80s when we had stagflation, it was again 3 to 4 years during which we never hit 3% economic growth. So here we are with a 10-year stretch without hitting 3% economic growth, and 3% isn't one of those miracle 10%, even say 5% economic growth. 3% should still be pretty feasible. And granted, there is a theory out there that sub 3% growth is a new normal and it's here to stay. I think it's too early to say that, but I also think that's kind of, like I said in the beginning, it's moving the goalposts back. We're going to pretend like 3% growth is now the new normal, and that's kind of that whole narrative is kind of being used to tout Obama's economic legacy, which my whole narrative is that his economic legacy isn't good.
Well, I guess so. So like when I look at that, I guess the problem is like if you're looking at getting more than 3% and that's not realistic. Firstly, if that's not realistic, then I think you're always going to look shitty, right? If that's not sustainable by any economy that exists.
And I'm not even saying more than 3%. I'm saying 3%.
Sure.
I mean, we've seen 1 and 2% economic growth for the past 10 years.
Sure.
We haven't even hit 3%. That's bad. No matter what period of history you look at, that's very bad, and it's very unusual. During recessions, we almost always bounce back within 5 years, even during the Great Depression.
Sure.
So the fact that it's been so long and we haven't bounced back, I think really goes against the idea that we've bounced back.
Well, or it plays into the idea that 3% is the new normal for like maximum full.
Yeah,
steam.
Exactly. But like I said, I think that's way premature, and it's moving the goalposts back for Obama.
Yeah, sure, that's possible. Do you think though that like and I don't know the technical definition, I haven't wikied it, but like do you think that you can really accurately define the way a recession feels to a people by only looking at GDP?
I'll say that's pretty much been the most kind of fair. The most fair measure. That's kind of measurement we've always used. But I'll say when it comes to employment, things like employment tends to be a lot trickier because of a lot of things like labor force participation rate.
And underemployment and whatnot. Sure.
Exactly, underemployment. But I'll say even like, for example, in unemployment, do you remember that the cornerstone of Obama's recovery policy was the economic stimulus? You remember that?
Yeah. Are you talking about TARP?
No, TARP is different. TARP was like I'm talking about the Community Reinvestment Act or whatever it was called. I don't remember the exact name, but it was basically the stimulus package, the infrastructure spending. It was touted as like the major way that the Obama administration was going to keep unemployment under a certain rate. And his economist from his own Council of Economic Advisors said that with the stimulus, we project that unemployment will remain under 8%. And what they said, if we don't do anything, if we don't do this stimulus and we simply do nothing, then we project unemployment to be about 8.5%. And in actuality, unemployment topped out at nearly 10%. So the projections were way off. And that's also why I said, even by their own measurements, the recovery was way slower, and their own sort of solutions fell way short of their own projections. So even using that measurement as opposed to GDP, and of course, with all of these things, there's nuance. There's nuance in the GDP measurement because of the idea of, what's the new normal now, and there's nuance in unemployment. But the fact that it fell short of their own projections means it's pretty hard to say that it was a quick bounce back. And I don't think it's good. Wouldn't say it's a good legacy.
I guess it's just so I guess the disagreement that we have So I understand your point of view. Your point of view is that when you go by the technical definition of what is a recession, and then you go by the quote unquote predicted success of Obama's economic policy versus the actual success of the economic policies, you're saying that because they fell short there and because our GDP growth has been pretty slow, that to call it a quick bounce back is factually incorrect, right?
Yeah, and not only that's, I would say even further than that, but I would say certainly it's not a quick bounce back. I don't think very few people would argue it's been a quick bounce back.
Gotcha.
But,
I guess it's just that the way that I felt. And I'm using a feels argument here. I guess I would have to go back and maybe find different indicators. But the way that I felt, it felt like in 2008 that it was being sold to us that literally like we're going to be into new norms of depression, recession era where unemployment is going to be, U3 is going to be like 10% plus, and that people are going to be losing their houses like crazy, and the credit crunch, and nobody's going to be able to get money anymore or whatever. It seemed like all of these things were being sold as these are going to carry on into like a decade, and the world is going to enter like this horrible recession. But it seemed like more or less like 5 years later, even though we still have problems, I guess, with GDP growth and labor participation and maybe underemployment for the most part, like if you look at things like I think like purchasing power of the dollar and unemployment as a whole, maybe people aren't getting paid as much as they want, or median wages haven't rose as much, compared to 2007, for what that's worth. It seems like we, for the most part, recovered and are doing okay, even if the economy isn't like, I guess, booming in the way that we would want it to be.
Well, the way I'll challenge that is I think the Obama administration was selling a lot more optimism than that. Do you remember the name, the Summer of Recovery? Like they actually branded that summer
sure.
of economic recovery.
I don't disagree that they tried to. I think that the entire tone of the Obama administration has always been relentless optimism, right? And even Hillary tried to adopt it as part of her campaign, right? America's already great, right? And counter to what Trump has said. But I guess like I said, this is kind of a feels argument, but I feel like that optimism was pushed against and maybe it's because I worked in the casino industry where entertainment took the biggest hits. Maybe it really did feel like I felt like a feels argument in 2007, 2008. It felt like the end of the world was being sold to the American people, that shit was literally fucked. So I guess maybe that's where because I had more of an emotional view of it at the time versus what was actually going on.
I'd say, yeah, like that industry got obliterated by the recession, of course. So, I mean, I think, but it goes beyond that. There is very bad consumer confidence. It's an important measurement too. And honestly, that's another metric where that's just been perpetually low. Even when we technically exit the recession, consumer confidence has still been low. It's only actually until recently where it is starting to pick back up, and that does have a better outlook. But that's another case where I'll say, I understand what you're saying. You're saying like it seemed kind of like it's better than what everybody was saying it would be. But again, I'm going kind of by Obama said this is going to be the summer of recovery, and everything was totally worse than his projections.
Sure, yeah, no, I understand. So that's a different perception. I understand what you're saying because Obama. What you're saying is essentially Obama sold us that the United States would be surpassing itself, prior to the housing bubble in every single meaningful metric, and that really didn't happen, right?
Sure. Yeah, I'm saying exactly.
Sure.
The results fell short of his own projection. So I don't call that a success. And I don't think where we are today is some sort of testament to his great policy. Economies tend to recover on their own without any intervention. The question is, how can we intervene to minimize that time? And I don't think the Obama administration was very successful in doing that. That's kind of my premise. And another kind of whole dimension that we haven't talked about is monetary policy. And that's a time when I'm sure you're aware that like interest rates are at like an all-time low.
I think they're up to 0.5 now, I think, finally.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it's been years since people have talked about, are interest rates going up this next quarter? Are they going up this next year? I really thought they were going to come up 3 years ago. And the fact that we're here in 2016
and they're still at historic lows. And it feels like a damned if you do, damned if you don't kind of thing. Because
I totally
every
agree.
single time there's even like a fucking whisper from the Fed about interest rates going up. Oh, the Dow Jones is down 300 points as investors fear that interest rates are rising. Like it feels like one of those things that nobody wants to actually bite the bullet and do, which is strange because the whole reason for the Federal Reserve being completely separate from government is so that they don't have to worry about politics influencing their decisions. That I don't understand enough about that to criticize the Fed. Obviously, I would never pretend to, but as a layman, it does seem very bizarre to me that we've kept interest rates depressed for so fucking long that I never. And like you said, I thought that like. I thought it was going to be before that, like maybe because I bought into the Obama hype too much. I thought that like 4 or 5 years ago, we were going to start to see those interest rates start to kind of trend upwards as we started to recover. But Yeah, that seems really
and
weird.
it's like you said, it's a damned if you do, damned if you don't. But the reason it's a damned if you do, damned if you don't is because our economy is still weak, which again is counter to the idea that we've had a miraculous bounce back.
Well, I don't think any economy ever wants. But that's why I'm saying damn you do, damn you don't. Because if the economy is doing shitty and you raise interest rates, people are like, well, fuck, you're trying to kick us while you're down. But if the economy is booming and doing well, people are like, why are you going to put out interest rates and fuck us when we're doing so well? Like, we just want to grow. Like, why are you doing right? Because if Trump comes into office and the economy continues to grow, and then people are like, all right, well, we're going to go ahead and turn up interest rates. I doubt that the markets are going to respond positively to that, right? Like, it seems like the markets always want access to cheap capital and whatnot. No, like, does anybody really want interest rates to go up?
Yeah, because the people started to be afraid of inflation once economic
yeah, but like that's like the big meme
rate.
that has been sold to us for so long, right? That was like one of the big memes. It's like inflation is going to happen, but it seems like it hasn't happened yet.
It hasn't happened because we haven't had nominal GDP growth. If we do get nominal GDP growth, then it is going to start being a concern, and it's one of those things where it is like you said, it's a delicate balance. But that's why investors would start looking, and that's why they haven't, because we haven't had the high levels of nominal GDP where we would really start saying, okay, let's start to jack up rates. We haven't had that, so that's why the rates are still at what point? Yeah, like you said, 0.5%.
Yeah,
exactly. So, that's another area. And I guess my final point on that would be the stock market. I would be interested in your opinion on that. I'm a pretty big believer in efficient markets by and large. I know, we get bubbles and such, but I'm pretty surprised by the stock market rally since Trump was elected. And I think even that is kind of a testament to the fact that investors have more faith in Trump's regulatory.
I totally disagree. I actually memed about this literally on the night of the election. On the night of the election, I think the market dropped by, was it 2%? Or maybe
it dropped a lot initially.
Yeah, it dropped a lot, and I specifically said on stream that people were being fucking retarded, and that there's no fucking way that drop was going to take it. I specifically said you can find the VOD on election night, and the next day it went up. I don't think that the president on their own is going to have like a dramatic impact on the markets like that, and I feel like that's why the bounce back happened. Do you really think that like what could Trump do like unilaterally that would influence the markets? Like what executive order on the fucking S&P 500 is he going to enact?
Well, I think you've seen the rallies heavily in the pharmaceutical and healthcare industries, and I honestly do think that Trump, or not even him, but whoever he elects, could do the regulatory cuts, and that could actually help the industry.
I guess like I don't even know if that's. I don't know. It's really hard. The problem is that the problem is that the markets are so much driven by psychology as well, right? Like it's, or at least it seems to me that psychology drives them. Like, I don't think anybody right now on the planet can say what the fuck is going to happen with healthcare in the United States, right? Because Trump ran on a platform of pretty much completely dismantling Obamacare, right? That was his platform. Do you disagree with that?
Oh, I totally agree.
Yeah. So it seems like he ran on a platform completely dismantling the Affordable Care Act coming in. But now it seems like he's completely walked back on that, and I don't even think if he'll push to repeal it at this point. I don't know.
He walked back a little bit, but he's definitely all full on board. Like the guy he nominated for the Human Health Secretary of Human Health, that guy, he's totally he's been on the repeal Obamacare train from day one. So it seems like he's definitely full.
Yeah, I guess. But then Trump has also gone on saying things that like he likes pre-existing conditions. Like, can you really repeal or can you really maintain pre-existing conditions, but then like get rid of the mandate and still keep it affordable? Like, I don't know. Like these are like it seems like the way that insurance works right now is that it's kind of gridlocked and there are so many competing interests. Like when I talk about like pre-existing conditions and individual mandate, right? So like, okay, well I like that everybody gets covered, with pre-existing conditions, but the only way to make that affordable was with the mandate, right? Isn't that part of the big so if you get rid of the mandate, people like me, I'm never fucking buying insurance in the United. I pay fucking $500 a month now for me and Aaron, right? I'm not buying insurance if I don't fucking have to. So if healthy people like me jump off that, right? How are you going to afford insuring people at affordable rates with pre-existing conditions, right? Like it seems like these things necessitate each other.
Well, the problem is what you said is we can't afford covering pre-existing conditions without a mandate.
Yeah.
The reality seems to be that even with the mandate, it's not enough to maintain a sustainable system. That's what the pattern is. So it's not even a matter of it's just a matter of it's not sustainable. It's not working. The arrangement of covering everybody with pre-existing conditions and also just have the mandate and hope that enough young people enroll and spread out the risk pool. They hope that would work, but it simply isn't working.
Well, I guess I don't know why it's not working now. I don't know. Like, why are prices going up? Because I tried to research articles, but it seems like everybody had 50 million different answers. Like nobody really knows. Like because while prices were rising under the ACA, prices are going to go up in a way that's unprecedented historically, right? They don't rise this fast. So why do you think prices are going up so much?
It's actually pretty interesting because the insurance companies say that the costs associated with like covering the Obamacare risk pool were much higher than was promised or projected. Whereas the Obama administration is kind of challenging that and saying that according to the way they've assessed it, the costs aren't that. Again, I'm much more inclined to actually believe the companies that have stake, and if it were profitable for them to follow the Obamacare business model, they would do it. And if it were profitable, other insurance companies would be moving in. But it's a sort of, again, it's a proof is in the pudding sort of thing. These insurance companies are pulling out. They're not doing it out of spite. They're doing it because they can't afford it. And I think Obama knows that too. Obama, he's referred to it as like a starter home now, and everybody needs to upgrade. So I think he had obviously hoped that Clinton would get elected, and then successor to Obamacare would be kind of a step. They could still bill it as a spiritual successor to Obamacare while fixing a lot of the problems. But
So,
that's not going to happen anymore.
I'm probably already know the answer. What do you what do you think about single payer?
Oh yeah, you know the answer. Yeah, I definitely am not in favor of single payer because I think the underlying issue with healthcare, and I'm a supply side shitter, right? I'm a trickle down. But no, basically, I think the problem with healthcare costs is scarcity. Like is a problem with every market where you have high prices and not enough to go around. So and the issue with that is that Obamacare doesn't really solve scarcity. Just giving everybody insurance doesn't solve scarcity.
I agree. I don't think that the Affordable Care Act addressed any of the problems with prices. I think that they just addressed coverage. I don't disagree with that. I think that's the principal failure of the ACA is that it did absolutely nothing to combat coverage prices. Even in places where it could have, like I think giving Medicaid the ability to negotiate price with hospital server, even in doing things like that, it didn't actually do that. So yeah,
not only that, but like the number of health administrators, like career-wise, has like increased by 30-something%.
Which is the most profitable job to have in a hospital. It seems like that administrative bureaucratic bloat is like a massive drain that seems to be unique to the United States healthcare system. I don't understand why.
Yeah, and that's perpetuated by Obamacare and the regulations. That's increased the demand for that. So, like I said, that's why it never was going to work, because the underlying actual supply that goes around is the ultimate thing, and bureaucratic red tape doesn't magically increase the supply of healthcare or the quality of it. And I think we're seeing that now. But also with the single payer, it also folds into other things. I'm a pretty big proponent of free immigration, but I absolutely don't think you could possibly have anything approximating free immigration and have a single payer healthcare system.
Sure.
Not even close.
Sure. Just looking inside the framework of what's possible, because free immigration is never going to happen, right? Probably not in the foreseeable future.
It could happen if we quote unquote gut, but obviously want a more politically correct term, to the welfare system. I'm a proponent of cutting the welfare system and having free immigration. But I know a lot of people obviously, but which is kind of ironic to me, because in my mind, helping the poor would be free immigration. That's how we did it in the past. If you made it to Ellis Island, you were a citizen. Obviously it's never going to be that easy again, but I think we can approximate that time again if we get the healthcare.
Well, it seems like it's something like free immigration. Like the people then that need help the most are the ones that are hurt the most, because they're the people that lack the ability to immigrate. I mean, that costs money, right?
Oh, immigrating? I mean, to a certain, it does cost money, but you
this
can
is
be
something
very
that
poor and still immigrate.
Maybe. This is something that bothered me about what Trump said about abortion, leaving abortion up to states' rights. Is people are very quick sometimes to drop that, like, well, if you can't get an abortion in your state, you can go to a different state. That's the freedom of America. And it's like, well, not everybody has the opportunity to just up and drive 150 miles to go. Like, that's not within the reach of a lot of people, depending on their economic situation, you know?
Well, I would say we have a huge bottleneck with immigration, the legal immigration system, is we have such low quotas and we have such high wait lists.
Yeah, I think it can be up to like 10 years if you're immigrating from Mexico legally. The system right now is broken, but it seems like nobody...
Exactly, which is why I'm strongly against it. I'm a proponent of free immigration, and even just kind of cutting down those wait lists a lot would be a big step in the right direction. But that's not compatible with the kinds of welfare systems that Democrats want.
Sure.
Which is the irony to me, because I think if you really were a proponent of the unprivileged, that's immigrants trying to get in the country to me. And that's incompatible with a single-payer pipe dream, where a lot of the... Sorry, go ahead.
Are you sure? Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying. Do you think that giving... do you think that insurance is fundamentally incompatible with free markets?
No, I don't think it's incompatible with free markets at all. But here's what is incompatible with free markets. And I might get into libertarian-esque territory, but I'll have to link... I'll see if I can find it, but there's a study recently by Harvard that showed a very large culprit in the cost of pharmaceuticals is FDA-granted monopolies. And this wasn't any sort of conservative think tank. It was just purely tracking the costs. And the fact that we can't import pharmaceuticals from other countries and we also grant monopolies on pharmaceuticals. FDA grants monopolies, and the process of attaining FDA approval is so expensive that monopolization itself is what creates such enormous prices. And those prices and that monopolization leads down to the lack of the price negotiation you see, and all of that bleeds into the insurance system where you don't have price transparency, you don't have negotiation.
For I guess on a couple things, like every time I read case studies about this, it seems like it always turns out that there's a good reason for it. Do you remember the EpiPen thing going on?
Yeah.
When I read about the EpiPen thing, a lot of people were complaining like, oh, overregulation, FDA problems, blah, 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 blah. But then when you looked at the products that all of the competitors were creating, they were literally things that had fail rates that would have, potentially costed millions of people their lives. Like when you're talking even like a 1/10 of a percentage point can make the difference between tens of thousands of people living or dying using a product. Like I always hear the regulation meme and the FDA stuff, but it seems really hard pressed when I ask people like, what is a specific regulation the FDA has that you consider unreasonable? Or what is a monopoly granted where other people could compete with good products, but they're just not able to because of regulations? It always seems like people fall short in giving product examples.
I'll give you a kind of a converse product example.
Sure.
And the converse would be probably LASIK surgery. I don't know if you've ever had eye problems or anything.
No.
But you've heard of LASIK surgery, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's amazing is since that's purely an elective operation, that's outside the realm of insurance, and you can go get state-of-the-art LASIK, which is technology that even exists not too long ago. To get that done for like a couple $1,000s.
Do you know anything about John Stossel?
Yes, I do know.
Okay, I watched his piece on this, so I know exactly what you're talking about.
I haven't
Oh, yeah, he's got a big piece on this. Essentially, the idea is LASIK care, I think 15 years ago in the United States, was actually complete dog shit. There are no insurance memes or any other kind of bullshit that impacts LASIK eye surgery, or not even LASIK, but eye surgeries in general, because it goes by other names besides LASIK, depending on the technology. And because it's an elective surgery and because they have to compete on price, LASIK surgery has advanced medically in completely unprecedented ways, and the price is even reasonable and whatnot, too.
Yeah, because it's all transparent.
Yeah.
And
The reason why I asked you earlier, though, going into the LASIK surgery, because John Stossel in that same piece talks about the problems of insurance. And this is the reason why I asked you if insurance is fundamentally incompatible with a free market, is because it seems like insurance destroys the pricing mechanisms, which makes it so that your consumers can't act as rational agents in a market. So like as an example, if I mean, this is real life. In the United States, nobody ever in the history, well, there may be one person in all the United States has actually gone to a hospital based on price. Right? Because if you have insurance, you're looking in network, and then that's it. You don't care like how much a procedure costs at any hospital or how good or whatever, right? You're just going to a place in network and you choose it. But because the insurance serves there as like a screen against ever selecting a hospital based on price or quality or anything like that, you're usually always just choosing the best thing all the time, even if it's massive fucking overkill, right? I think John Stossel's example in his piece, that the same one he did on the LASIK surgeries, but you go to a grocery store and you pay for grocery insurance. If you did that every single time you went to the store, you would just load your cart up with fillets every single time, and you would walk out with tens of thousands of dollars in groceries, and nobody would ever think about anything,
Right. I think that does happen. I think a lot of the reason that does happen, I would personally blame on the regulations and like the lack of competition that basically, and like I was saying, the monopolization of drug prices, which basically obfuscates all of the sort of pricing, such that it's not even transparent what you're getting charged for when you go out. So
yeah, of course.
And I don't know if that's actually caused by insurance itself. I'm more inclined to believe that's caused by just all of the bureaucracy and the red tape. But I don't know if I'm not inclined to think that the insurance market, like insurance on principle, is against the free market, or is. So I would have to listen to Stossel's piece on that, but it sounds interesting.
I guess it's just the problem is that when you're dealing with such a hyper inelastic demand, which healthcare kind of is, it seems really hard to fit a pricing mechanism in there, right? Like if you're having a heart attack, you're not going to quickly look up who's got the best cheapest heart attack doctor, right? You're going to wherever's first, and it seems like that kind of stuff can interfere with market forces,
Oh, I totally agree. And with an elastic demand, like you said, so even if somebody can't afford it, they're still going to get it, and then it's just the cost is just going to be on the hospital. That's why I'm really focused on supply side approaches, actually increasing the quality, or not quality, but even just the quantity. Like kind of like you said the EpiPen thing, that okay, 1 decimal point can lead to a certain number of people suffering due to unintended consequences. Well, conversely, it's okay, well, how many people would benefit from the successes of it? And it's really hard to weigh that. And I don't think.
Oh, sure.
I don't think the regulation does a good job of setting the scale.
Possibly.
I
Or
think-
why don't you have the option then of, if you can't afford an EpiPen, why don't you have the option of buying an inferior product if it's the only thing available
Exactly.
to you?
And a lot of people are against that on principle, but I still think that could lead to better aggregate outcomes.
Can we-
And that would.
We can agree on one thing, right? Patent systems in the United States are fucking retarded, right? Have been abused like a motherfucker and exist in such extreme ways that they are completely fucked, right? Do you think that that's true, or?
I think it's true, but I honestly don't know how to fix it because the whole idea of intellectual property, I'm not sure where even I stand on that.
I'm
It's
okay
pretty-
with the concept of intellectual property to some extent, but like when you're literally extending it like 79 years past, like, I don't know, it seems pretty stupid to me, but.
Yeah, but it's pretty hard to justify any line you draw. That's what's
I mean,
tough
I
about.
think you can justify, like, I think that, like, something like on a piece of media, I think that, like, a year or maybe 2, I think is pretty justifiable, right? Like, if you make Star Wars and it's really cool, maybe you don't want somebody making Star Wars 2 before you do, right? Because they literally watch the movie and make it immediately after release in 6 months or some shit. Like, I don't know, I kind of see that, but.
A year or 2. Yeah, I could definitely see that.
I guess like, I'm not only applying it to intellectual property too, but looking at things like the EpiPen or like Advil or whatever. Like I don't know, like how long are these patents lasting that they're able to carry off into like decades or whatever. Like.
And here's one, not even patents, but I think a big one is also, and this is I think a proposal of Trump's that I agree with if he actually does. I don't know if he will, but it's importing pharmaceuticals because then you're protecting IP. It's not like they haven't stolen your patents, assuming they haven't.
You're saying Trump wants to import pharmaceuticals?
Yeah.
Oh,
right.
gotcha.
By a Canadian version of EpiPen, and the patent's still protected because the Canadians didn't, they didn't steal the same patent or whatever, but it just allows for more competition.
Kind of,
I mean,
yeah, that gets really
China,
weird
for
though.
example,
Because you're like,
stuff,
or if you look at like Taiwan or whatever, for example, has no respect whatsoever for intellectual property laws and bootlegs and all that shit. But
yeah, China will like hack U.S. companies and then take the trade secrets and then make it, and so yeah, that is kind of like. Yeah, that would kind of suck for a company that had a patent. But I still think it's a good solution. And if there are cases like that, I think they should be taken on a case-by-case basis. But by and large, I think that'd be a pretty good solution to the whole patent system, would be allowing imports on pharmaceuticals.
Sure. All right. Okay. Well, I'm going to play video games. Again, that's
all right, man. Have fun.
Okay. I love you. I'll see you later, buddy.
Later.
All right, guys. Are we ready to play some video games? Aren't you guys excited? He's literally saying, I want the free market by buying government-created medicine. I don't think that's what he was saying.
That guy talks out of his ass. Clinton enjoyed tech bubble. Bush enjoyed housing bubble. Obama took on a depression that almost as bad as the Great Depression. We have become a solely service industry. Plus 2% is the new norm unless you prop up a bubble.
Whoa, is 2% the new norm though? Do you actually know that? Earn 5 AP. Pokeball Go! Wait, he killed it? I didn't even get to kill it! Wait, Ignis just gained his vision back?
The reason the stock market is up since Trump victory is because they are expecting big infrastructure spending from Trump. Also, they hope deregulations, mostly for banks, would likely prop up another bubble somewhere.
Oh, shit. Oh, because they were talking about repealing Dodd-Frank, right? Ooh, I don't know about those memes. What am I looking for? Oh, skulls. No, fuck. Gear, even though it's skull. Okay. Oh, okay. Can you guys stop treating Iggy like he's a fucking retard? He's just blind. Oh my god. Oh, really? Oh, Nando. Whoa, samurai sword. Is this shit gonna be dank? Ooh. Nah, not really. Reboard the train. Oh.
待ってくれ。
どうした？
もういいだろう。揉めるやりとりだけが聞こえてくるのは嫌なものだ。
Uh-oh. He's gonna tell Gladio to fuck off. Do it. Stand up for me.
ついてたが、やはり見えない。良くなる兆しもない。だがその上で、俺は旅を続けたい。これまでと同じように。
悪いが、俺は反対だ。何度も言うが、戦いの中じゃ命に関わる。
でもそれは俺たちが。
面倒見らんねえって話じゃねえよ。
なら、決めるのはイグニスだろ。
って精神論じゃ片付けられねえぞ。
分かってる。俺に合わせろなんて言わない。追いつけないなら、その時は自分で諦める。
どうなんだ、王様は。
Hell yeah, I'm keeping Iggy.
王とは絶対に立ち止まってはならないものだ。どんな犠牲が出ようとも前に進み続けなければならない。グラディオ、今ノクトに必要なのはそれを考える時間だ。
分かったよ。だが危険なことには変わりない。気緩めんなよ。
I didn't even get to make the choice. I want to show Iggy how much I love him. Nando? What does that mean when they say that? Nando? Oh, it means what? Okay. $14 outside. Oh god, I'm gonna die, dude. How is it so fucking cold now? I thought we were global warming. Really makes you think, guys.
やっぱりテネブラへ寄ってもいいか？うん、いいんじゃない？
気になんならそうしろ。
Oh my god, the secret fucking gemstone of the Mega Phoenix. Hey, what's up, dude? You cannot return after departure. We have everything, right?
まだ。
そうですか。まだ大丈夫ですよ。準備が整ったら声をかけてください。
Wait, it says we can't return? I don't know if I believe that. I feel like we're probably going to be coming back here. I feel like we're probably going to be coming back here.
もうご乗車になりますか？
あ、頼む。
それでは中でお待ちください。まもなく発車いたします。
何かあったら言えよ。だね。隠すのはなし。ああ、出発だ。
なしだとよ。
分かってるさ。
I don't even hear a stick tapping. What the fuck, dude?
立ち止まれねって。
死なれたら困る。
直球だな。
Oh, this little cuck fuck. Wait, do we hate him or? Oh yeah, we hate him. He killed the chick that we never even got to meet. You forgot the crystal weapon in the other train. Nice spam. Nice spam, guys. Nice spam. Stop taking pictures of the sadness. What if you had a picture of Luna getting killed? There are 14 chapters to this game, right? Do you think we could realistically beat this game tomorrow? You can beat it tonight. I have another meeting tomorrow morning, so I can't do it. I need to sleep pretty soon.
列車の旅もいいな。ああ。帝都に着いたら運転はお前か？二人に聞いてみ。レガリアも積んでもらえてよかった。首相に感謝しないとな。あれも安くしてくれりゃあな。通信機は残念だった。水神の騒ぎでのことなんだが。うん。帝国軍が撤退する中、妙な動きをする揚陸艇がいた。最初の船だ。目をやられた直後、最後に神殿の方へ向かうのが見えた。止められなくてすまない。俺も意識を失って。生きてたんだから。
So what happened to his eyes? We're just never gonna find out, I guess.
足音が聞こえてきたな。ああ、グラディオ帰ってきたぞ。何頼んでたんだ？人探しだ。気になることがあってな。
お、探し当てたぞ。
すまない。気になるってなんだよ。夜の長さのことだ。
最近長くなってってんだろ。
Winter is coming.
噂は聞いていたが、ここ数日でもだいぶ変わったように思う。ああ、このまま変化が加速すれば近いうちに一日夜って
大げさだとも言えねえな。六神も半数がやられちまった。星や世界に影響が出てしかりだ。
まあな。夜が伸びれば死骸も増える。
そっちは実感してるしな。
That was pretty insensitive.
誰かはその件を話していたんだ。それで
俺が探しに行かされたってわけだ。
ご苦労さん。
行くぞ、待たせてる。
ああ、わかった。行ってくる。ああ。
おっといたノクト。すごくない？この景色。ああ。
マジでどうなってんだ？
Is it clouds or water?
わけわかんねえな。
I can't tell. They're clouds, right? Rain clouds? Or is it snow?
Nanda? これ。ほんとすごいよね。雪雲かな。なんかちょっと怖くない？こんなの普通想像つく？俺的にはありえないっつうか、本でも見たことない。ここで何してんだよ。何突然。落ち着いてよ。びっくりした。どうしたの？
ちょっとなんでそれ本気あったてめえふざけんなあのさノクトくそあいつ嘘だろ顔怖いよノクト冗談だよねもうやめようよそういうのよくない他の人にも迷惑だしさ冗談なんかじゃねえよもう本当に俺を殺す気なの当たり前だろもう逃げらんねえぞ何が目的だずっとうろうろしやがっててめえのせいでどういう意味それ
Does he know that this guy stabbed Luna Freya? Does he know that?
言い逃れって待ってよ本当に頼むからちょっと話を
I don't remember if he saw him do it or not. Okay. I don't know. I don't think he saw it personally. He was knocked out. Oh, wait. So Knocked 100% knows that he did it, right? I don't remember if Knocked, because he was like knocked out or whatever, right? Because I remember he was like laying on his back and shit when it happened. I don't remember if he was cognizant of this happening or not. I'm not sure. I don't remember. Nando. Knocked out. Fucking kill yourselves.
Nocta! 大丈夫？今、アーデンが。え、アーデンって？じゃあ列車が止まったのってそのせいなのかな？何が起きたか全然わかんないんだ。グラディオたちは原因を調べに機関室へ行ったよ。
Are these guys engineers now?
確認しに行こう。ああ。何？爆撃？他の人まで巻き込まれるよ。ノクト。前の車両に逃げて。相手してやる。中も安全じゃないね。他にも乗り込んでるかも。後ろまで調べよう。列車はまだ動かせねえのか。機関室の方はグラディオたちに任せよう。よし、後ろに向かうぞ。
Whoa! Imperial shock troopers are attempting to blow up the train. Take them down before they get too close. If the train takes too much damage, the game is over. Oh, what the fuck? Are those things damaging the train? there not a high up place that I can go to recover MP and shit? Fuck. Is there a reason to warp strike at point blank? Yeah, every time I kill somebody with a warp strike, I get AP. 1 AP for it. Do I need to go and like kill these people shooting the train? Or, I don't know, they seem kind of like outside of my... Like, the train is taking a lot of damage. What is going on? Get the fuck out of my way! Am I confused? Fuck, I think I was supposed to come up here. Nope, never mind, maybe not, okay. Sora-ne! Ha! Sora-ne! What am I supposed to do with it? How the fuck do I destroy it? Oh. Once inside, force checker to self-destruct or use one of the turrets to take down before assault craft. Oh shit. How do I shoot this thing? Aim, fire. Yo, this thing can't see shit! Wow. What? Come on, dude. Wait, what? That was chapter 11 in like 2 seconds? Stitch in Time?
イグリス、列車止められねえか。プロンプトが落ちた。あーね、いや、俺が落とした。どこかわかんねえ。結構前。
ノクト、落ち着け。状況は分かった。
He's already dead, though.
列車を止めるのは危険だ。また襲われかねない。他の乗客もいる。
だけど、もう
すぐテネブライに着く。そこで他の乗客を降ろそう。
プロンプトは
帝国の宰相が絡んでいるなら、奴に連れて行かれた可能性もある。そうでなくても連絡があるかもしれない。少し待ってみないか。こっちに来られるか。グラディオもいる。
あ、そっちは二人とも無事か。
あ
あ、じゃあそっちに。くそ、また来た。片付けてから行く。
Spooky!
来たし。
Sorry, did you really think you could spook me, dude? Yo, is this my infinite EXP farming area right here? Wow, nice memes. Good job, guys. How dumpstered do you feel, dude? Be honest. Because you look pretty fucking dumpstered to me. Nice 12 FPS Destiny. Do you like it? Oh, I have to kill these? Okay. Holy shit. Oh, those are all bug things? Ew. Hold out. Oh, God. Nanda. Wow, what a bro. She the new waifu?
これはお前らの仕業かよ。
知りたきゃ見たけば。宮殿までなら案内するよ。
じゃあ、いろいろ聞かせてもらうわ。
あんた、その目は？
ああ。ちょっと怪我をした。
見えてないの？
視力はほとんどない。
戦いでか。大変だったね。
Thanks.
そういえば、もう一人いたよね。
ああ。でも、ちょっと事故があってな。
死んだの？
わかんねえよ。
ならそんな顔まだ早い。しっかりしなよ。先があんでしょ。
ここを襲ったのはあんたらか。
帝国軍に属する市街ってとこ？
あんたも帝国軍だったよな。
昨日退役したよ。今は元傭兵部隊を連れて救援活動中。
あなたがここで活動しているなら頼みたいことがあるんだ。
Go find Prompto.
列車の乗客をここで降ろしたい。話を聞くにこの先は特に。
そうね。じゃあ面倒見るわ。だったら運転手も変えたら？
変えられるなら助かるが、動かせるやつがいるのか？
うん。前にも会ったことあるやつ。ほら、この二人。ビッグスとウェッジ。打たれ強いからね。安心していいよ。
どうも久しぶりです。で、何の話で？
Look at me, motherfucker. Look at me when you talk to me. I'm royalty.
は
あ。一般人には頼めないだろ？
ま、そうっすね。
了解した。優しい心遣い、感謝するぜ。
あら、そう？
Are there any memes to be had here? Am I supposed to be looking for items or some shit? Why the fuck is my shit so fucked? I don't understand.
運転頼むな。
任せてください。正直何が起こるかわからないですけど。なあ。
ああ、渓谷は特にな。
寒いとこ通るんですよ。標準芝の亡骸がある谷なんです。まあしばらく走りますんでね。ここでしっかり準備してってください。
Wait, Ice Goddess corpse? What is he talking about?
この近くにいると思いますが、フルーレ家に仕えてたそうで、あなたと話したがってましたよ。
俺と？分かった。行ってみろ。
俺たちは列車の方で待ってます。出発するときは声かけて。
Fuck off.
Moshia, Noctis 様でいらっしゃいますか？
ああ、そうだけど。
一度お会いできると
I took care of you when you were a baby.
こんなに大きくご立派になられて。ウルーレ家次女のマリアでございます。覚えてはいらっしゃらないかしら？
ああ、悪い。
いいえ、それよりお伝えしておきたいことがあるのです。ルナフレーナ様は紅葉の指輪をノクティス様にお返しできましたか？
うん。
何よりでございます。レイブス様も報われましょう。
レイブスも。
Uh-oh.
この指輪をノクティス様へ。私の代わりにどうか。体が思うように動かないのです。
それを受け取ることはできない。お前が自分で渡すんだ。指輪を渡し、王にその自覚をさせるまでがお前の使命だ。倒れてはならない。
でももう私の力は。
果たせ、ルナフレーナ。一人の人間としてノクティスに会い、お前の思いと覚悟を伝えろ。
Wow, nice one.
ノクティス様、テートへ向かわれるのですか？
ああ。
レイブス様はレギス陛下の剣をノクティス様にお渡ししたいと願っておられました。再会は難しいかもしれませんが。
受け取るよ。絶対。
Oh, by killing him.
ありがとうございます。
Nice fucking meme, dude.
レイブス様のお話では、プライナもあの場で命
Who
を
the fuck
落
is
としたのだ
Prina?
そうです。
Prina?
きっと最後までルナフレーナ様のおそばにいたかったんでしょうね。片割れを失ってアンブラも寂しがっているでしょう。
ああ。でもアンブラは元気だ。
ノクティス様、どうかご無事で。
We board the train. Whoa, ninja. Uh-oh.
Ass grilled by fucking the entire internet. including people that care about me. The last thing I don't need to know. I don't need people to tell me why I shouldn't have done it and what I had to lose. I know. Okay. I don't want to say I got lucky, but like I did. So let's just, let's fucking get over it. Okay.
Wow, nice.
ノクティス様はルナ・フレーナ様と結婚するの嫌だった？ルナ・フレーナ様はすごく喜んでたよ。ドレスが届いた時もニコニコしてノクティス様のこと大好きだったよ。
そうか。ありがとな。
かつてレギスは成績に選ばれたノクティスの運命を憂いていた。その顔はテネブライに来て変化した。レギスも寂しげだったノクティスもカンナギとしてではない大きな力があなたにはある。
私はカンナギである以外に特別な力など持ってはいません。ただ本当は婚約のお話をとても嬉しく思いました。ノクティス様にもう一度お会いできるかもしれない。それが本当に少しの間だけでもよくて、私の中にそれを嬉しく思う気持ちがあるから、持てる力のすべてでノクティス様をお支えしようと思っているのです。
Wow, nice man.
ルナ・フレーナ様、ご迷惑かもって言ってたの。そんなことないよね。
あ、ないよ。
夜はもう世界はどうなってしまうんだ。途中で水神見えなかった。
壊れた車両は別のに取り替えて出発準備してますから。
Wow, thank God.
出発したいときは俺たちに声をかけてもらえれば。
一休みするなら食堂車がある。
Can't even get on. Really makes you think. Do I need to talk to this dude again, or do we get on this train? Oh. Oh shit, is this like our airship?
メルダシオ協会は警戒を強めていると。今は学いらっしゃい。
And before we still have to pay.
今日はどうした？はいよ。ご注文は？
You fucking cuck. And your food sucks.
また来てくれよ。
Why are these guys on our train too? I don't want these guys training with us. Yo, I'm ready to leave. Can we leave? Oh my god, please look at me.
そろそろ出発しますか？
なら。
ここの市民とそっちの乗客は私が面倒見る。テートに入るんなら、まあ気をつけなさいよ。
ありがとう。
どうもな。じゃあ行ってくる。
行ってくる。
おい、早く乗れ。
ああ。
Alright guys, I think I need to get food and go to sleep. Oh, I think that's what's about to happen, boys. Whoa, was that the Statue of Liberty? suicidal, need advice, please help serious. Why do you guys send me these emails? Oh my fucking god. P.S. I know you have going to suggesting a professional. I've tried several over the years, along with several meds, none of which improve my situation, so I'm turning to you on this one. Are you fucking serious, dude?
外は雪だ。中も冷えてきたか。
標準の亡骸があると言っていたな。
亡骸じゃ掲示はできねえか。
無事に通り抜けられるよう祈ろう。
帝都に入る覚悟もしねえとな。渓谷を抜けたら帝都だそうだ。
ずいぶん近くまで来たな。
Why did we put so many more cars on this train? Isn't this a giant fucking waste of gas? What the fuck? Dude, why am I having encoding problems on my computer? I don't understand. What's eating on my CPU? Why doesn't it show up in the task manager? Is there a better task manager that you can get for fucking Windows? Oh. Right here when I'm running, my OBS is going crazy. Why? I'm only using 84% of my CPU. But it's still dropping frames. Why? Click settings. Do you think if I set a higher priority on the program, it'll help? Can you even do that? You can, right? Process priority. High. Click apply. Wonder what'll happen. Let's see if this helps at all. Oh shit, that... Nope. No, it didn't. Nope, it didn't help. Maybe we need to just fucking format it, start again. Destiny, pour ice.
Play the song, it's not even racist.
Nick.
No, it's Nickelodeon. Yeah, it's a Nickelodeon song.
Nick. Nickelodeon. Nick.
You're fucking stupid. You're fucking stupid. It's Nickelodeon, dude. You're fucking retarded, though. I'm not gonna lie. That's fucking, you have autism, dude, but that's fine with me. All right, yo, but thank you, dog. Yo, dude, fucking, I'm just annoyed. Arma 3. We don't miss a RuneScape. Oh, okay. Well, thanks for the fucking $2, dude. I appreciate it, dude. Fucking, I would slap my semi-hard cock in your plate.
Okay.
電話？ああ、どうした？そうか、分かった。
Fuck! Why is my shit so fucked? I even turned my CPU preset up to fucking fast.
どうした
今バッチャってます調べてますがこれ外かな
俺たちが見てくる
I'm sorry, fuck, what did he say? Snow is in the way?
Boom. ぼんやりしてっと死ぬな。
標準の影響なのか。
多分見える。偉大らしいな。標準の亡骸だ。寒いな。俺もだ。さっさと倒せ。終わらせるぞ。おりゃ。はい。ほっ。
Okay, hold on. I'm restarting my stream real fast. 1 second.